come on in. Come on in. Give everybody a second before we get started. It's just now 12 o'clock, so we're going to give some time for some people to come on in. All right. Add co-host here. All right. So as about to get started, thank y'all for coming on in. For those who are just now, tuning in, hopefully you are live versus listening to the recording. Shout out to my co-host, Black Alpha Network, in the building, and also we got my sister Nikki on stage. Black Alpha Network. Want to go ahead and give you my shout out, and I want to make a real quick point. Last Monday, Black Alpha Network held a space. I co-hosted his space, and as we see what happened as the results of that space, Uncle Luke obviously was kind of triggered, and they have kind of they took some slick shots at our space and what was said last week. So I will, in response to a lot of that and a lot of these shields we have coming out, we want to know, because they're saying if we don't vote and we're pushing this no vote thing, well, then we're just going to destroy, it's suicide and all of this. No, boycotts have always worked in the people who are deciding to withhold their services, in this case, our vote, until the party has to actually do business with it. So with that being said, today's space is absolutely about, is a vote boycott the best option? As for myself, hell yes. So starting off right there, how we're going to operate this one, we're going to go ahead and kind of establish the panel up here, and then we're going to bring up the speakers one by one. So with that being said, I'm going to toss it to my co-host right now. Go ahead, Black Alpha Network, brother.
Peace and love, brother Zilla. I appreciate the opportunity, man, to co-host with you, man. We be doing it real big, family. Much respect. Much respect to everybody as well. I had to pull up and, talk about this subject because it's something that's very, very important. It's something that needs to be done. And it's time that we all get on the same page and let everyone know that no matter what goes on, we're going to do what's in the best interest of ourselves. Everybody always tries to, piggyback on us, and we're carrying a lot of weight that we really don't need to carry. So it's time the foundational Black Americans get a little stingy and a little stubborn, and that goes a long way. As they always tell us, and I've seen that with Luke and them sending shots at us, that just lets you know that these people are being high paid. And the fact that they got to worry about what we're doing, that lets you know that they're on the lower level and they're looking up at us. Everyone says that not voting is going to be destructive to foundational Black Americans, but in reality, it's the reverse. Us not voting is very destructive to the Democratic Party. And that shows you that we do have power in our vote. And power in your vote can be by voting or not voting. And if we exercise the opportunity to not vote or to take our vote elsewhere, everybody will be in disarray, more disarray than they're already in now. And I can't wait to hear everybody talk. I can't wait to speak and, participate in this discourse, because this takes it a step further, and this takes us to another level of getting real Black political power opposed to these Black political cowards. And I'll yield for now, fam.
Big facts, and fire as always, my brother. Also, before
that's that real shit out my mama,
nigga. All right, we'll get to you in a minute, Deshaun. Sister Nikki, do you have anything to say before we get to Brother Deshaun?
I have to switch phones. This phone is going dead, and I have to switch phones, so I have to leave the room and return. I apologize.
Okay, it's all good. I'll catch up with you. Okay, so Brother Deshaun, where did he leave? Okay, looks like Brother Deshaun might have got disconnected, but see if he can't reconnect. If he wants to, he might have left the room, but nonetheless. We talking real politics, real Black politics, real Black agenda. And we understand that a lot of times when we have our own discussions, we got a lot of people trying to come over in our mix, trying to detour our agenda, trying to add in things to our agenda, trying to add other groups even to our agenda, which absolutely is not okay. We are foundational Black Americans, some call freemen. You go by indigenous, we know what it is. So here today, we're not really harping on the particular titles because we are what we're talking about. We are talking about everybody who is entitled to reparations. So if you fit under the banner of reparations, then this means you. So with that being said, we have people like Luke who are trying to come into the mix, you know, and he's bringing in, trying to get some cred by using Trick Daddy as some kind of FBA cred because, you know, Trick Daddy's people go back down to Alabama. So what they're trying to do is trying to usher in. And if you're noticing, it's a lot of stuff coming out of Florida. There was even a Florida official who recently came out talking about my city. So trust me, it's a lot that's going on right there. And we're going to get to that. But Sister Isla, you got your hand up. Go ahead, sister.
Yes, hi everybody. Yeah, I wanted to say this before I lost my thought that Dr. Claude Anderson speaks heavily on withholding the vote, right? Using that as a strategy. And I do believe they call it abstention, where you're basically withholding the vote and you're doing it as a group or a block. So I just wanted to make that point. I'm going to actually go back down to the listener's queue because I said I wasn't going to talk so that I can get some things done, but I'm just going to listen. And if I feel like I want to maybe add something or ask a question, I'll request the mic again. But thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And absolutely, you know, anytime you feel like you have something to chime in with, come on back up. So with that being said, Dr. Claude Anderson talking about definitely withholding our vote. This is business, and we should be focused on the business of our empowerment. And that's I say that often. We are focused on the business of empowerment. That is absolutely the embodiment of the code, Black empowerment. So this part, we're saying I need to hear some answers versus just the Trump line or the Republican line. I want to hear some real true reasons why we should not boycott this vote. And we're hearing a lot of even MSNBC, Tiffany Cross, like these people are mentioning new Black media without mentioning new Black media. And they're going on mass world platforms speaking of us. Now we'll have these people come into our spaces that'll tell us, hey, you guys are just a small voting block and you guys aren't really that big. And, you know, Marcel only got 2,000 something votes. Again, when Obama came out and he was running for senator, he got lambasted the first time he came out. But the fact of, see, here's the problem. Obama was their guy, and he energized the masses enough to become president. Marcel lost horribly the first time. However, they see that he also could catch that same wave that Obama caught. And that is where they are worried, because that brother speaks directly from the grassroots, for the grassroots, and the national discourse when it comes down to our agenda is absolutely changing to our favor, which as it should be. I know you got something to say on this, Black Alpha. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, hey, that's a very good point. And, you know, I tell people like this, when it comes down to voting, we can withhold our vote, or like I said, we can place our vote in other areas. But if we actually had a centralized campaign to reduce the votes that the Democratic Party receives, that would be massive. One of the main things that Brother Marcel did is he reduced the vote that Clyburn received. And by reducing their votes, that can break a swing election anytime. They understand that if foundational Black Americans, say if we had a Black grassroots candidate in all elections or any particular election, and we just put our vote in them, by the way we've been galvanizing and we becoming more politically savvy, we could take the Democratic polls and reduce them 4 to 5%. People don't understand 4 to 5%. The Democrats would probably lose to the Republican every time. So if you really want to stick it to them and you really want to punish them with your vote, Get you a black grassroots candidate, take your vote elsewhere, or sit out. Those are the only two options. Sit out the election and do not vote, or put your vote in a black grassroots candidate and reduce the Democratic polls. See, if they run up against a Republican and it comes down to a tight race, a swing vote, everybody will understand that we have enough to swing it. Anybody who is familiar with, I think it was the year 2000 election, that was George W. Bush versus Al Gore. There was a guy by the name of Ralph Nader. Mind you, I was a young child, but I know my history. Ralph Nader ran as a third party, and Ralph Nader took so many of those votes away from Al Gore that George Bush was able to catapult and win. Had Ralph Nader not been in that race, then Al Gore would have won by a landslide. Hands down, he would have straight up won. But he took votes away. And this is why, if you ever notice, follow what they say, follow the lies. As they say, follow the money, follow the lies. If you watch these politicians, they hate third parties. They cannot stand third parties. It's the duopoly. It's the Democrats and the Republicans, because they say if we're going to go at it, we're going to win or lose against each other. A third party, all that does is reduce the votes for either one of those two. We have the opportunity to produce a third party, which would be a black grassroots candidate. Therefore, we would reduce anybody. And since the Democrats rely on us so much, we could take down their numbers in any election. Any election. Brother Marcel proved to us right now that he can do it. He did it in 6 months. 6 months. And this is what really had them afraid. What had them scared and had them shook was that this brother came in and he took votes away from Clyburn. And in their head, since they think on the big picture, they're saying, well, what if foundational black Americans did this on a major scale? Or what if they had more than 6 months? They could reduce us anytime. So if we're ever in a swing election and it's a tight race, FBA can determine that. And if we make them have to fight for our vote by not voting, or we make them have to fight for our vote because they're scared that we're going to take votes away from them, then they're going to want to come to a table. Then they're going to want to negotiate. And that's why we say we playing straight up politic games with these folks, and we letting them know FBA is savvy. They think we're, ignorant. They think they can just con us maybe 10, 12, 13, 40 fucking years ago. But nowadays we're on and focused. So I say we should come up with a real plan to where we can either sit out elections or reduce their vote, and do it strategically, do it centralized, and make sure everybody knows that we have political power by sitting out, and we have political power by voting, just not for their asses.
Facts, my brother. Absolute facts. And I want to say shout out to 3 Minutes of Black Empowerment for coming up with the flyer. If you guys need flyers, go hit that brother up on his Twitter page. You can cash app him and he will send you the JPEG of the flyers if you want the handbills to pass out in your respective neighborhood and area. Because again, like the brother just said, we're talking about, we are literally a voting block. And something else that I noticed as I was getting ready for this live or this space, I was watching Tiffany Cross on MSNBC. Now, if y'all watched brother Jason this past weekend, or no, actually, I'm sorry, this is Professor Black Truth that did a piece on Tiffany Cross. I saw another part from her just recently where she's literally talking to the AAIP voters and as a voter block, because they're worried about them not being reached, because they basically aren't even paying attention to the election. So they're not even really focused on voting. But here's the thing. The powers that shouldn't be literally use the AAIP to put in front of foundational Black Americans' claims. So it's not like they were there fighting on their own. We're here on our own. Nobody put us here. So the difference is you're actually really have to deal with the people when you deal with us. When you're dealing with the AAIP, you gave them everything. So they don't feel obligated to do nothing, because for what? You were going to give it to them anyway because you hate this group so much. So just take notice of that political part, because all of these other groups don't even rely on voting to get what they need, because they can just rely on whoever wins being against foundational Black Americans. You feel what I'm saying, Brother Alpha?
Oh, absolutely, family. Absolutely. I was just breaking this down the other day, and I was telling people how the fact that they go around the country and they beg for our vote, lets you know that our vote is very valuable, very valuable. As a matter of fact, the black voter base is the most important because every other group goes back and forth between Democrats and Republicans. Right now, if people aren't aware, Latinos are starting to vote Republican, as you know, we spoke of before, Brother Zilla. Latinos are voting Republican a lot. They're turning a lot of blue states red. A lot of those little border towns down in Texas, out on the West Coast, down in South Florida, a lot of them are going to the Republican Party. And the Democrats put all their eggs in that basket. They wanted to shift and get away from black folks so they could have, these immigrants and Latinos. But Latinos, they're not really big on voting Democrat because a lot of these Latinos come from places of overt racism. So they don't want to come here and play the covert racism game that the Democrats play. The Democrats want to do this fake ally, melting pot, and then, flipping on us. Those Latinos, they come here and they're used to just treating black people like dirt openly. So they identify more with the Republican Party. They want to be more Republicans. They see Republicans as the model of whiteness. And we all know that that's what they yearn to be, is white. So they don't really want to come over here and get down with them. How do you know that the Latinos are voting for Republicans and the Democrats are losing them? Is because Republicans want to build a wall. They are literally for getting them out the country, and they're still getting a Latino vote. The Democrats are giving these people amnesty, giving them money and everything, and they're still losing the Latino vote. So you see in every political thing, I was just looking at a poll the other day from the Wall Street Journal, and you see that going since back to the 2012 election, Latinos have slowly got more and more Republican. And the Democrats understand this. So this is why the Democrats are going in hyperdrive to convince us to vote for them, but it's not working. So that shows you that we do have a massive voter block, and we are in a position now we can do anything to the Democratic Party. We can break the Democratic Party, because if they do not have the Latino vote to go for, which they've already put a lot of time, energy, and effort into, and then foundational Black Americans ain't going for the yesterday, we just going to vote blindly, where does that leave the Democrats? Now you're in a position to where you can dictate to them what will happen and what won't happen. So foundational Black Americans, as we speak right now, particularly with these midterms coming up, we are in a strong position. Whereas you said, Brother Zillow, we can not vote. We can vote for, Black grassroots candidates. We can pretty much do anything. But what we do know is voting blindly for the Democratic Party, still, that gives us no results. That gives us nothing in return. So let's use a lot of things that are against them. I just seen Stacey Abrams. I'm down here in Georgia right now. I'm not that far from Brother Marcel. He's on the other side of the bridge, man. We about 30 minutes away from each other. So we understand what's going on down here. And Stacey Abrams is running around begging Black folks to vote. Literally begging Black folks to vote. Why is she doing that? Because she understands that Latinos cannot be relied on for no more. That a lot of the dominant society, they ain't vote for her ass. So they need that Black voter block to come through for them. And if we just turn around and do not go for that, everyone knows that the Democratic Party will be broken. So I'm all for, in any way, shape, or form, breaking the Democratic Party. You got a lot of Black folks who run around here now and say, we need to overthrow the Democrats. Fuck that. I'm not trying to overthrow Master's house. I'm trying to build my own house. And we have the opportunity to do it. So I say, everybody out there, we need to go ahead and get together a plan. Sometimes you just need to get together a plan on how to disrupt the Democrats. That's just what it is. We can come after them in every aspect and let them know that foundational Black Americans will not be neglected. We will not be shunned, and our votes will not be taken for granted anymore. Once we set that precedence, everyone knows that the rest of the country will follow, and that's how we'll achieve real political power. What's going on the West Coast, though, family? That's what I want to know. I want to know what's going out there, because I see a lot of things going, and it seems like they move politically a little more savvy out there on the West Coast and some of the Midwest and Southern states. How's that out there, brother?
Wooey. So, man, it's real crazy right now out here, because in my city, as you know, this is where all the Black folks are pretty much concentrated in the state, in Portland. However, there, y'all know that we have a reparations bill that is sitting. It's sitting in the House, in the state right now on the floor. So you could actually track the bill, Senate Bill 619. You can literally track it and see what's going on. And we're waiting for, I think they've been trying to slow play this bill, waiting for California, like I told y'all, because California now has moved to lineage based, but they're still trying to find ways to work everybody else in there. Ours is lineage based straight off the rip with a dollar amount attached. It's no study. So they don't want people starting to get into the mist or into the mode of just going ahead and passing bills with number amounts. Because, truth be told, hey, I would be more than happy to get my $123,000 right now. And then, hey, that's in perpetuity. So every year you get this annual check, and which is rightfully so. So with something that would shift the economics of this city, we have so-called liberals that are literally working with Washington, D.C., that White House, and as well as New York, and these immigrants out of Florida, these Democrat immigrants out of Florida. They're literally working while making grafting themselves into our reparations claim, making foundational Black Americans the face of violence. Now, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to that, but that's been going on very, very heavy here. And the media is in on it. The local politicians, but let me tell you who the worst are, though. The old church niggas. These people will sell us out. And I mean, trust me, in my city, they know good and damn well that I am one who stresses not voting. So they come out the woodwork. Oh, we got to vote before this midterm. Look, being Black don't mean we Democrat. And I really hope that this older generation will really just get out the way, because that's what we got here. So my city is as small as a Black community as it is. We are heavily infested with boule. I'm talking about, this is gatekeeper city as far as it comes to, and that's why Black people always stay so stagnant. Fortunately, this shutdown allowed some of us that they don't allow in these meetings. It allowed us to go Zoom. So as soon as I had my chance to hit that mic, I'm like, hey, what's going on with this reparations? This. And all of a sudden, the bill went to the House. And so now it's just sitting. But yeah, you best believe, because this cat is from my neighborhood that wrote it. So, it's like, hey, man, we need to get some answers, brother. Because you sitting off up here, watched our whole city get gentrified, watch my whole north side just absolutely get whitewashed. And this is his district. So now his whole district, which used to be all foundational Black Americans, is majority white with a bunch of immigrants. So with that being said, I see somebody coming to the stage. I know the other brother looked like his mic ain't working. Looks like, I'm not sure if you guys are having issues connecting or not. But let me know if you are. If so, then we'll try to figure out what's going on. That's just Twitter, being Twitter. Brother Deshaun, go ahead.
Bro, all I'm saying is that I don't need no fucking reparations, bro. I live amongst white people. I don't give a fuck. I'm fine with it, bro. I don't give a fuck. All y'all niggas be tripping, bro. I'm out here making my money, making my move. As long as you grind, as long as you do what you be doing, bro, you don't have to worry about shit, bro. I don't give a fuck. I'm my mama, nigga. I came from the hood, bro. I came from the bottom, nigga. I had to really struggle on my mama, nigga, and then I had to come from the top, nigga. And I had to really work my ass off and work really hard, nigga.
Ah, there it is. I just need to let you go long enough to get that accent out. Yeah, this is a foundational Black American conversation. So I'm gonna go ahead and shoot you down right there, brother, because that's not what we're doing here. My God, man, just calm down, little guy. Look, we on some grown man shit here. I understand, cats get emotional and getting their feelings, but yeah, take that to your mama. Brother Alf, go ahead.
Shit, it sounded like he be hooked on phonics, bro, because I could barely understand what the hell he was saying. He might, hey, I don't know where the hell he from.
That accent started coming all the way out, didn't it?
Hey, he need a goddamn therapist or something. I don't know what the fuck. I couldn't even make that accent out. God damn. That's what happened when they talking through their tether teeth, man. You don't know what the hell going on, man. You don't know what's going on.
He tried to keep it like, oh yeah, I'm gonna try to sound like I'm foundational Black America, but we work hard. Oh boy, you gave it up in 30 seconds, brother.
Hey, I'm glad he did that, because he just made a point. So thanks, Tether. I appreciate you if you're still listening, family. You just made my point. I
Right
appreciate it,
on.
brother. I'm gonna send him some fish and chips or some jollof. I don't know where the hell he from, but anyway, that makes a point. You see how we identify that real quick, and we identify, somebody who's coming around with that off-brand energy. This is the same thing we're doing now with the politicians. We're starting to really identify them ASAP. We're starting to really see where they're coming from. We see their, nefarious reasonings, and we see their ulterior motives. And I love that. Black Americans right now, we're at the stage where everything that goes on, we have an eye on it. And it goes for tethers like dude who was just talking, who needs a therapist or something, by the way, or his mom or his daddy. Anyway, we need real people who see these things ahead of time, because we have all been indoctrinated by the falsehoods of the past. Like you were just saying, Brother Zilla, all the church folks, the old folks, they used to teach us a bunch of ignorance. That's why every other group has been politically above us, because their old people were teaching them how to be politically savvy, to treat this like it is a negotiation, like it's a business deal. We had a lot of old heads who was basically teaching us this is the plantation. And I always say Black Democrats, they're basically the people who never left the plantation. That's it. I always say this as well. They do not consider themselves Black. They consider themselves Democratic Party or the Republican Party. Whatever they belong to, that's what they consider themselves. They don't see themselves as Black. When they go and they hit that census, they don't see Black and check it. They don't see none of that. They say, I'm a Democrat. Just how O.J. Simpson said, I'm not Black, I'm O.J. They say, I'm not Black, I'm a Democrat. That's what they belong to. That's what they belong to. And now we as a generation, we as an era, we've broke those shackles. So now we're really coming to it with a real business deal. And they're trying to shame us for it, but that's not working. So we identify these people ahead of time, and we know how to function within society. We understand you don't just go vote blindly. You don't do that. You don't go and say, well, I'm going to do things for everybody except for us. You got to remember, we were the era just 7-10 years ago. You can go back a few years before that, where remember when they were saying the president can't do nothing for us specifically. We are the only group whose elders taught them that. The only group. You never heard anybody else get taught that nonsense. And then we had to sit back and literally see these presidents do things for people specifically. And we had to say, hold on now, y'all been telling us for 60 years that this couldn't happen. Y'all remember when Obama was president and they used to say, Obama can't do anything specifically for Black folks? That was the main talking point they gave. And then you sat there and seen Obama do things specifically for everybody else, as did Donald Trump, as did Joe Biden. So we understand that type of falsehood, has put us in the path of going down the wrong way. And all we done did is busted that B1 U-turn. And now we're heading back in the right direction. And we're correcting a lot of the mistakes that they made in the past. So in totality, what we have to continue to do is just becoming more politically savvy. And if them old folks or whoever, them coons, because there's a lot of young coons out here, if you see them talking that bullshit and that nonsense, then just get rid of them. Cancel them on site. There's no reason to go back and forth with them, because we already know where their mentality is. Their mentality is to keep us in shackles. Their mentality is to keep us in chains. And everything they do is to keep us right there on that Democratic plantation. You can draw a direct correlation between slavery in the plantation to Democratic voters. All massa is the Democratic politician. All the slaves and the house Negroes are the Democratic voters. And you know we are. We're the freedmen who don't go for none of that type of stuff. So let's stay focused. Let's keep our eyes on everybody. And the more we do that, the more political power we'll get, and we'll get rid of some of these political cowards on site.
Facts. And speaking of political cowards, we also get rid of the empowerment haters. Because here again, you talking to grown men up here. I got grown children. He probably like one of my children's age. Now he gonna come up here and tell me, I get it out the mud. I got it out the mud. Nigga, so about everybody in this room, bruh. The hell are you talking about? They got nothing to do with getting the justice for our ancestors in this land. Every soul lost in the system of slavery is a murder victim. We hail from murder victims. So I don't need to hear about how you worked hard when those murder victims were the reason that your ass got to this country. No. Them other young people might not even, they might argue with you. Oh no, there's no conversation like that here for you, player. Because understand, in 1776, your ass was in Africa. Because I could hear the wet hide. So you come over here trying to hide under light skin and then act like we can't hear what you is. Don't come over here disrespecting us. We made the way for you to be here. And I know, nobody in this age range did. Our ancestors did, just like your ancestors fled. And people are like, well, you guys are hating on this. No. Look at here. We're talking about reparations for our group. He came up here deterring the conversation, basically saying he don't want no reparations. Well, of course you don't, because you ain't getting none of ours anyway. So, I mean, good for you. But y'all got to recognize when these people start coming in your rooms and start coming around with this whack ass line, man, I'll get it out the mud. We work hard. Trust me, get it out the mud is equals we work hard. So anytime you hearing somebody coming into your space talking, yeah, I'm FBA, they lying. They lying. Simple as that. Yeah, because, I mean, man, I ain't really tripping, man, because, I get mine out the mud, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I get mine straight from the dirt, I'm from the soil, man. Stop it. Stop. Man, we see y'all, cowardly fleers. Don't come over here talking tough now. Better go back to your homeland and start screaming on them niggas. Come here, show respect to foundational Black Americans. That whole thing in Washington, D.C. that allows you to come here to this country was built by our ancestors. So you shut your ass up and you come around real foundational Black Americans. Sorry for I didn't give this disclaimer earlier, but this is a certified space. So if you need to get some understanding on how we rock over here, I'm going to let my brother Black Alpha explain to you what being certified is. Go ahead, my brother.
Hey, you said it's a certified space. They can tether their way ass out. That's how they can do it. Yes. Certified Black Society. Everybody who subscribes to my YouTube channel, you guys hear me say that all the time. And by the way, make sure you subscribe to my brother Beatzilla and follow him right here as well. And then follow me right here as well. And on YouTube, it's the same certified content. Certified Black Society, certified foundational Black Americans. It's exactly that. It's real. It's real. Go look in your dictionary and it's the same thing. Just put it in front of being Black. We're the people who represent being Black to the core, who represent being Black to all the strengths. These barcode Blacks are what we call counterfeit Negroes. These are the people who have been created by somebody else. What they used to call the African American, that type of person. That person is not real. That person does what someone else tells them to do. If the dominant society tells them to jump, they say how high. When somebody walks in the room from another group and they say African American and motherfuckers put their hands up and wave, hey, I'm over here, boss. That is a counterfeit. When someone walks in the room and says freedmen, someone says certified, someone says foundational Black Americans, they're referring to us. So everything we do is thorough. Everything we do is thorough. I'm talking about our policies, politically, socially, out here in the streets, private, public, no matter where we are. We don't change our energy, depending on who we're around. We are the same consistent people 24/7, 365. The same energy and the same vibrations that you get are always going to be how everyone else gets it. Too many Black folks, they act a certain way behind the doors, behind the camera, behind the internet, on the goddamn keyboard. And then when you confront them or you see them in real life, they talk a different tune. How many times do you see these politicians, speaking of counterfeits, how many times do you see them talk all that shit when they're in a good space, but when they get around us, they start tap dancing? When they get around Joe Biden, they start tap dancing. Y'all remember when Joe Biden told them all go to hell? If you look and you freeze the frame, all of their faces were pointing down like little fucking lapdogs. That is a counterfeit. You understand? When he said, you ain't Black, motherfuckers put their heads down. When he called that one guy boy or whatever the fuck he said, they put their heads down. These are counterfeit Negroes. They're not certified. We represent everything that's real about our community. And that's why we're starting to see real motion. And everybody can feel it. We're not saying nothing that isn't true. Everything that's going on right now in this era, we all feel it. It's real. Every term is fresh. Everything is new. We all know we living in unique times. We all know we living in real special times, to be honest with you. And everybody sees it when we sense it. And trust me, if we feel it and we sense it, so do they. That's why they're spending so much time, energy, and effort and resources to try to stop us. They don't want to have to deal with Luke. They don't want to have to deal with Luke. They don't want to have to deal with Roland Martin, Angela Rye, Broken Buck, Kari Sellers. They don't have to deal with these people, but they know they have to put these people on payroll and give them a nice goddamn year-long supply of butter biscuits to come and try to disrupt what we're doing. Just like brother said right now, Brother Zilla, it's a true thing. They hate Black empowerment. They hate Black empowerment, especially when Black empowerment is coming in the way of politics. And they see that. We get our game together. Trust me, these motherfuckers is sweating. They on some phones right now, making some phone calls. They probably in a meeting. They done called every tether, every shield that they could find. So they can somehow come up with a way to disrupt what foundational Black Americans are doing. Look at your Twitter. Go look at your timeline. Look what's trending right now. Every single day, we are all trending. FBA trended 3 different times. Foundational, Black, and American, and then FBA, and then FBAS. Our lineage trended 3 times the same goddamn day in 3 different ways. Come on. Come on now. When people start hating on us, they start trending. I'm starting to see goddamn Black and Brown was trending. Mexicans was trending. All these other groups are trending. That's because of us. We are in the spotlight right now. We make everything go round. Dr. Claude Anderson said it best. He said, nothing goes on this planet without Black folks. And I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to say nothing goes on this planet without certified foundational Black Americans. For too long, we've been told that we're a little small pocket. We're a little group here. We're a little group here. Fuck that. We are powerful, and there's millions of us who think like us, act like us, walk like us, and talk like us. And thanks to the adaptation of, the internet and adaptation of technology in these Twitter spaces, we're able now to share notes and to see you got brothers on the East and the West Coast. This space right now, Brother Zilla's on the West Coast. I'm on the East Coast. And there's a lot of people on both and in between. There's some people probably all over the world, but they're FBA. So FBA is coming. FBA is in the center of everything, and we are just getting started. So as I always say, if they do not like us now, if they're afraid now and they're shook right now, wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow it's only getting bigger. It's only getting stronger. And that's what it is to be certified. Certified BLACK. Yes, indeed.
That's what's up. And man, I'm just saying, if y'all ain't already subscribed to this brother's YouTube channel, again, go do so right now. And also as well, please go follow me on YouTube. That is Beatzillapdx official. And right now I want to say a special thanks to brother Wartox in the building who is recording this space. So big shout out to you, my brother. Black first, Black first, Black first. So again, thanks to everybody who is in this room. If y'all could do us a very big favor and tweet this space out, and all of those Democratic vote blue, no matter who people, get them up in here. Because again, what they'll do is they'll listen to this space. They won't engage me and Alpha, but what they gonna turn around and do it. Like I imagine Luke is gonna have a space tonight, and then they'll probably be talking about, oh man, that's just crazy talking. Some of those people over there are, they actually do have some good things to say, and I believe they got good hearts and their heart is in the right place. Stop. No, we don't need any of that. This is a widespread move because everybody under the sound of my voice knows that foundational Black Americans are owed reparations. Not only that, though, y'all are owed, and I say y'all because now that means me as well, so don't nobody go twist my words, but y'all absolutely deserve some rest from these wicked ass demons. And so why not give us reparations? All of this perpetual poorness, all of this poverty that we've experienced, poverty breeds violence. And so now here's the problem that they are really having. And I'm going to say it like this, and I hope everybody understands what I'm saying. We all do not have to get along. There may be certain cliques, certain groups that get along better with each other. Here's the one thing I want y'all to really understand, though, about the people that we are up against. You don't have to like this group. You don't have to like that group. But what they see is that all the people that are in these little groups like each other. What they say about us. Black people just can't get along for nothing. Guess what's happening on this internet? See, that's why they want to say y'all in a vacuum and all of it. No, we're not. The world is watching. And on top of that, they're seeing Black folks come together and conversate every day. Every day. When in our history do you remember even being able to some of y'all at work right now listening. When have you ever been able to actually just sit in an environment to when you actually hearing your actual issues that resonate with your spirit being talked about by people who actually look like you and truly have your best interests at mind and at heart? Like, when have you ever seen it? I know I have not. Have you, Brother Alpha? Are you there, brother?
Yeah, I was cutting out a little bit, bro. I got you. Yeah, I'm in here. Yes, indeed. Hey, I tell this to everybody before, man. We can have disagreements, but the problem is having a disconnection. And we understand that as we work in as foundational Black Americans, we got the same goal. Judge everybody based on the same goal that they want. You know what I'm saying? And if they're really putting in and really paying them premiums to get that. We all want foundational Black American empowerment. We all want foundational Black American advancement and reparations and anti-Black hate crime bill. We actually have things that we can point to that we're trying to push forward. So if we got little differences on how we're going to get there, that's fine. I don't care. If you want to goddamn take the Jeep, I want to take the truck. Somebody want to goddamn walk. Somebody want to take the Ferrari, the drop top. It don't matter. I don't give a fuck how we get there as long as we get there, because we spent too much time not being there, not focused, and not galvanized. So the fact that we're galvanized right now, all those little petty beefs and shit like that, we understand. And, you know, we smart. FBA, we know who about that drama. We know who's really about that drama and people who like that petty ass stuff. And we just cut them off. It's no different than anybody's lives. We all know somebody. I'm going to tell you right now, I got about 5, 6, 7 cousins, and all they love is drama. I mean, they swim in drama all day long. And guess what? I don't deal with them. I'm going to ride for them. Now, if they need me and the shit get real and somebody fucking with them, I'm going to pull up. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth with them and live in that drama-fied world. A lot of things that we do in our own personal lives, because we do have a culture, a heritage, and a lineage. Since we all have that, we can relate to a lot of things. So fact is that when you deal with somebody who loves drama and they're always in drama and they talk more about the pettiness than they talk about the policies, then those people we just brush to the side and we leave them alone. Us right here who have productive spaces, who have productive conversations and productive dialogue amongst each other, that goes for the brothers and the sisters, we're the ones that we build with. And if you really start to look at it, those of us who are really moving, we're the ones doing real numbers. We're the ones who are out here really getting things done. We're the ones who are going to change things. I was telling somebody the other day, there's some Black folks right now that we see in these spaces who are going to change the world. Change the world. And I mean it, and I mean it on that level, real high. Never undershoot that, because you know we can do anything. Foundational Black Americans, there ain't no limit. You feel me? So there's a lot of us right now that you may see in these spaces. You may see have Twitter pages, their YouTube channels, and these are going to be the same people you see years from now that take the mantle and take us to another level. And all those folks who are petty and all that, man, they're going to be on the corner forever. Eventually, they're going to move to the next platform. They're going to jump to the next goddamn social media site. They're going to be on that bullshit, and they're never going to accomplish nothing. But the beauty of it is they're not going to bring us down. We just going to walk right around their ass. You feel me, Brother Zilla?
Yes, indeed, I do, my brother. Because again, all they have ever looked at us is as less than. And I mean, I wasn't raised that way, thank God. You know, I guess my grandmother was one of them people who, I guess you could call her, she could see into the future, I guess you could say, because I absolutely lived what she told me. But with that being said, just embracing my culture. I used to have this when I was a kid. They say, man, sometimes I wish I was white. I have never felt like that. I love this shit. Like, man, I love this. I mean, just the interaction with all of us. Man, what are you kidding? I wouldn't trade this for the world. There's not enough money that can buy this. You can't buy soul. You know what I'm saying? So if I see, I don't care where we at on the planet. If I see the family, we already know. Oh yeah, we up out here. And if I see a brother anywhere, especially if I'm outside this country, hey, you already know what time it is. You got that look. So if it's go time, we kind of know where each other is at. You did, because hey, man, things happen. But with that being said, we hold a special culture and a special relationship within ourselves that everybody envies. They can't just come together and just be building. Like, do you understand? If I was to say me and Black Alpha go to a park on a sunny day and just open up and fire up a grill and turn on some music, people just gonna come and say, hey man, what y'all doing? And next thing you know, it's just one big old family reunion. And this is the type of things that got them scared. Because remember, J. Edgar Hoover absolutely wanted to work against our unity. One thing that I think they underestimate is how much we actually do like ourselves and how much we love ourselves. So with that, no, you ain't coming back up here, man. We're not doing tether battle today, brother.
Oh, hey, tether trying to get back in?
We're not doing that, brother.
Man, sit your tether ass down, man.
Yeah.
Go to goddamn Tether Island, man, and go have fun with your tether friends, baby. It's certified.
Man.
Get out of here. But no, Hey, let me build on what you said, Brother Zilla. That's the truth, man. I always told people, even when I was young, there's this misconception that, we all hate each other and we can't stand each other. We at each other's throats and at each other's necks. Man, that's a lie. That is a lie. That's what I call being slave washed. Slave wash is where you think everything that has went on is a result of us being enemies with one another. And we like to take the lowest denominator and compare it to everybody. We like to take the couple people who have issues and say, y'all know how Weeze is. I don't do that. We know how Weeze is. I don't do that type of stuff, because you can look and there's a lot of different examples of us, galvanizing and being on the same team. Like you said, brother, we could sit here and play music right now, and some brothers and sisters gonna pull up and we gonna rock. We're gonna listen to the music, move to the music like we were family, like we all knew each other. The one thing they always try to do with us is they always run that game. And I know the family out there, I know y'all have heard them say this. They say, well, blacks ain't all one monolithic group. I hate when they say that, because really what we are is a commonality. We're a commonality. And first off, have y'all ever heard them say that about anybody else? They don't do that. The reason why they want to make it look like we're not monolithic or we don't have a commonality, because that can open the door for them to be cooning. See, when they start saying things like that, that basically means if you want to go swirl, then it's okay. If you want to be off code, it's okay. When you are on code, it takes you to have similarities. And we all have similarities. There's not a person in this room right now that your grandmother, my grandmother couldn't sit down and talk, and it'd almost be like they've known each other for years. For years. We've all seen it. I've been outside this country and I've seen the commonality and the unity that foundational Black Americans have. I've actually been in situations outside this country where people would start fighting and FBA would jump in, even if they didn't even know you. They would jump. Matter of fact, this Black officer, y'all know I'm gonna keep it real. I'm talking to the family. Let me give you an example. My best friend, we was overseas and his mother got into a situation with some foreign lady. I ain't gonna tell you where, but some foreign lady, his mother got into it with him. And this foreign lady's husband, or whatever the hell he was, he jumped in and he snatched up my homeboy's mom. My homeboy's right down from Brunswick, Georgia, right where Ahmaud Arbery was, assaulted or, harmed or whatnot. And my homeboy, his mother got into a situation, as I'm saying, with some lady, and the lady's husband jumped in. Do you know 5 Black foundational Americans jumped in and whooped the hell out of that guy? They didn't even know my homeboy's mother from a hole in the wall. They just jumped in because she FBA. So I seen it, and I was a young dude. I was probably like, 15, 16 years old. So I seen at a young age, and we gonna ride. We gonna ride for each other. One of my main things is I wish that I'm that guy walking down the street and I see somebody putting their hands on the sister at a goddamn salon or whatever the fuck, or, trying to yell at Black kids. I be wishing I'm that guy there. I always wish I'm Johnny on the spot when it happens. One day it's gonna happen. And y'all gonna see Black Alpha Network on the goddamn news, and I'm gonna be acting a goddamn fool. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that happens, because that's how it is. And trust me, I'm not just one. There's millions of us out there that have put that down. I just put out a tweet the other day about motherfuckers giggling and laughing while Black women are being assaulted on camera. That's coward type shit. But the thing is, those guys always get put on the front page. They don't tell you about when brothers and sisters ride for each other. That goes on way more than people believe. That goes on way more than people think. So anytime I'm anywhere and I see a foundational Black American in any type of situation, I'm riding. And that's how I was raised. We're going to talk about the situation later. We're going to sit down and say, damn, what happened, man? Oh, they did that to you? Oh, okay, that's what's up. Oh, man, I didn't even know that. But we're going to talk about that after we regulated somebody and we whoop somebody's ass. We don't have time for that, because this is what every other community does. Every single community. Our brother Tariq Nasheed just interviewed a rapper named Spiderloke. I think you know who he is. He's out there on the West Coast, California.
Yes,
and,
yes, indeed.
You remember that video, man? I don't know if you've seen it, where Spider got into it with some Mexican dude at a gas station, if I'm not mistaken. And you see all types of Mexicans jumped in, didn't even know the situation. They were just jumping in and getting involved. This is what everybody else does. But foundational Black Americans, when we start riding for each other, they start hitting us with we not all monolithic. Why are y'all doing that? They're trying to shame us out of the loyalty that we have for each other. Well, I'm loyal to the soil, straight up and down. And FBA, anytime, anywhere my people are, that's where I am. And I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for everybody, because I know that everybody feels the same way, and all the certifieds is going to get down in any type of situation anywhere. And you're starting to see that not just go on in the streets. Now, as we're saying, you're starting to see this politically. Politically, we're getting on the same page. Brother Marcel was getting donations from people who never even been to South Carolina. This is the unity they fear. This is why they spend millions of dollars to try to get us to believe that we hate each other. Y'all hate each other. Don't send no money to Marcel. No. Y'all supposed to be enemies. Don't go ahead and help out your next man. No. Go get Becky. Go get Karen. Go get Bob. Don't love your sister. They hate that shit. Black love in any relationship. I don't care if it's your brother, your sister. I don't care if it's your husband, your wife, your mother, your father. Black love anywhere, foundational black love, it scares the hell out of them. So if it scares them, keep on doing it, keep on radiating that energy. And this is how we're changing the game step for step. And it starts with us as people. And now y'all seeing it is going into the political world. So as brother, Zilla just put it, if we boycott and we step back and we say we're going to do this collective, they don't mind when we collectively vote for the Democrats. They don't mind when we collectively sit in the cold rain and say, yes, we can for Barack Obama. They're going to be real upset when we collectively sit back and boycott all their asses and watch their parties go crashing straight to the ground. That's real FBA energy.
Big facts, real FBA energy. And that, that's what I was raised on. It's like so long they have been trying to smoke screen the real us. And so they put a bunch of, and let's keep it a buck. And, all the people that they kind of show on TV, especially at the Love and Hip Hops, there's a lot of tether direction going on. None of the people or none of the producers are foundational Black American. Yet they're catering and pushing something out there that if you look at now, we can't have any young female artist coming out fully clothed. Like it's to that stage now to if you want to be a female artist, you got to be half naked talking crazy. And if, that's just where things have progressed. But it's also what they say, image and perception. So here's the problem that they're having. They have controlled the narrative of our image for so long. We're saying no more, and they just do not know how to act. We have thrown a monkey wrench in their plans. And if y'all watch my broadcast, I'll show you all the time a screenshot of when California was looking at getting their reparations, and they were doing all the different meetings and whatnot. There was a whole group of immigrants that were meeting behind the scenes with Cheryl Grills and some of those others to graft themselves into the California reparations claim. So every time I put that on the screen, you can read all the names. All of them are non-FBA. So this is the type of stuff that goes on. Now, if y'all just seen my recent broadcast, I brought out a point that they have a CARICOM within our Congressional Black Caucus. I don't know if how many of y'all are aware of that, but they literally have a Caribbean Black Caucus within our Black Caucus that is solely focused on infrastructure and building up the Caribbean. And I played this Friday, so people can, I repetitively played it Friday because I want y'all to understand, these people who are in the Congressional Black Caucus do not represent us whatsoever. So much so that they have created a CARICOM within our Black Caucus. That's why you're seeing everybody go ham about, well, hey, y'all being divisive and divisive. No, y'all have had your head in the cookie jar this whole time. And thanks for your arrogance that we even caught this. Because I didn't know until somebody said, hey, did you guys know what's going on? I happened to look at this video. I'm like, oh, you cannot be serious. These Negroes is literally sitting up here. I'm a proud Jamaican, but you're representing our states. So the Black folks in the states, yeah, forget y'all, because, and they out of their own mouth said, we have to keep the Caribbean first and foremost in our mind. Brother, I know you want to chime in on that. Go ahead.
Oh, man. Oh, yes. I got to get them. Has anybody noticed that all these people who claim that they should be a part of our reparations, they don't never fight for an anti-Black hate crime bill? It never goes that way. They'll sit there and jump on every single reparations claim that we make. And then their excuse is that we all's Black. Well, if we all's Black, how come y'all don't fight for an anti-Black hate crime bill? They don't never do that. They're real silent when it comes to that. So AKA translation, tether translation, is that they want our goddamn money. That's all it is. And we got to remember, half these people, they never even thought racism existed anyway. See, they used to think that racism was a foundational Black American thing. They used to make all types of excuses for the dominant society. They used to be like, man, there ain't no white supremacy in America. That's just that the FBAs don't work hard. And then all of a sudden, when we start talking about reparations, now they're saying, hold on now, I'm a victim of racism too. You see 100 different faces from these people, and it's all according to what we're doing. They want to put their hands in our pot because they're used to eating off of our plate. They are not used to preparing their own food. If they did, they would have never fled where they're from. I don't know anybody who's getting it and making things happen for themselves that's going to run from where they're at. Only person who do that is somebody who ain't getting it, and they're not getting it. So this is why we say it's the difference between a freeman and a fleer. So they want in on every aspect of our society if we allow them. And back in the old days, those coons, you know, the HBC coons and the Black Coon Caucus, they used to welcome all of these people in, and we're the ones putting a stop to it. That's why I say the Black grassroots right now is outclassing the Black mainstream. The Black mainstream is getting subsidized millions of dollars, and they're getting no returns for it. There's nothing they're doing. Every trick and con game that they've run on us has been rejected. We're seeing them coming from the door. So everybody knows FBA is making a lot of waves right now, and the tethers are in absolute distress. Absolute distress. And, you know, I understand that, because if you've been promised that you were going to come over here and you were going to elevate above FBA, and then FBA told you, hell no. Next thing you know, they starting to run the zaddy. They starting to try to, you know, tether tail on us. That's what they want to do. They out here being little suckers, but that's what they are. So everyone understands that the era that we're in now, you're going to have to really hold us down. You can't have these dead end relationships that a lot of folks have been used to. A lot of folks been used to just coming along and doing nothing, not holding us down and trying to get what we have. I always have a saying, and a lot of people have heard me say it before. I say they like to stand away from us socially, but they love to stand next to us politically. Socially, they be in their little groups and they be in their little cliques, and they talk bad about us. They whisper about us. They hate on us in different languages, all types of funny style shit. But when it comes to politically, then all of a sudden they want to swoop in and be our friends. I understand where they're coming from because I see how tethers operate. Tethers are a lot of low budget, bottom feeding people. Everybody knows that anyone who comes to another country and disrespects the people who built the country, it takes a real low life to do that type of shit. Anybody who says your history is my history, and they know damn well it isn't. Anybody who says your creation is my creation, and they know damn well it's not. That type of person we just can't deal with. And we've got to the point now where we're not negotiating with them. We're not talking back to them. We're not going at it. If you notice, the one consistency you see is foundational Black Americans. We just roast them. There's no, well, hold on, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. How can we all come together? Man, fuck coming together. Remember this, you can never come together with somebody you were never a part of, and you can never be divisive with somebody that you were never connected with. And I'm proud not to be connected to them. I'm proud not to come together with them. Being called divisive is a badge of honor. I am the most tethered divisive person you ever gonna find, and I'm proud of that. FBA first, FBA only. We run the yards.
Facts. And that's one of the biggest problems is this type of energy is something that they fear, because again, but from the men to the women, it's coming hard and strong, man. And extra heavy. And it's supposed to, because that's how we were built. You understand? I mean, think of this. Slaves that were working 12 to 16 hours in the blazing sun they were able to sustain, to have children that are still among the living today. We are the offspring of these people who went through hell. Now here's something else that I trip off of. We hear a lot of talk about the ancestors. Everybody talks about the ancestors. Well, I don't understand how you bypass your ancestors' blood in this soil to start talking about Africa. That's fine. Don't get me wrong. That is fine. But trust me, you have way more of a duty to the people whose blood is in this earth on these United States. That is who the ancestor to whom you need to be representing out here today. Don't make their deaths go in vain just because of your perception of slavery. Yes, it was an oppressive thing, but guess what? They went through it and they made it through that. Ain't nobody else on the planet like us. Where they at? Where are they at? See, the whole thing is you have to make sure you put us in a position not to believe in ourselves. And so now when I hear Tiffany Cross talking about it's problematic that people are getting their news from social media. No, they're getting their news from new black media. Why don't you guys just go ahead and say it? Because, you know, if you know who Marcel is, Marcel tells you exactly why he got so much traction. New black media. So I also noticed that they called it a market, a ever-growing market at that, for these people who Roland Martin says have not went to journalism school. True indeed. But beep, 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 beep. Notice how none of these Democratic shields are coming in here. Now, again, if y'all gonna sit up there and go take slick disses with a bunch of blue checks about our space from last week, bring your ass on in here. But I mean, here's the thing: when you can't sit up here and do the whole 8 blue checks stacked, calling people out, well, yeah, you don't want none of this real smoke, because you actually have to talk policy here. We're not going to do the gaslighting thing. That's why the other little youngster wants up on stage. Yeah, man, for real, man. We don't need no reparations, man. I'm cool, man. I got it out the mud, baby. Shut up. There's future generations. What you're saying is you don't have any foresight for your future generations. Ooh, Lord. Ooh, stop eating crayons. Those are bad for your health. You know? Pencil lead is not good. I know it says number 2, but you know, hey, it's for writing, not for eating.
Hey, you know, Roland eating anything he can get his damn hands on, brother. You know that, Roland doing it. Hey, with his extra medium shirt he got on. Hey, fam, I seen that little thing he was doing, talking about something. I went to journalism school and all that shit. I seen that. But you know, here's the kicker. Yeah, but you talking about new black media though. See, you're on your show taking your time to talk about us. Anytime we ever bring him up, we roasting him. You feel me? He spends hours talking about us. This guy be on the internet blocking people with 12 followers, going back and forth with people who got 13 damn followers, and 2 of them are their parents. This is how low budget he is. He's afraid right now. He's afraid that he's being replaced and nobody's going to remember him. Hell, most people don't even know who he is now. You know what I'm saying? So Roland is shook right now. So the very fact that he takes his time and he's talking about new black media, that just lets you know new black media is on his radar. New black media has him scared. New black media has him shook. He doesn't know what to do. He know he done been called to Zaddy's principal's office. And Zaddy wants to know why the world does not give a damn about Roland Martin, how he cannot trick us into voting anymore, how he's been exposed left and right. And that goes for all of them. Like I said, broken buck Kari sellers. All these people are talking about us. You got to understand. These people work for companies, particularly broken buck Kari sellers. I think he works for CNN, the Coon News Network. He was on there talking about our brother Marcel Dixon, and he was going after Marcel Dixon. This guy is on CNN, a publicly traded company, okay, $1 billion company. And he's taking his time to get on his Twitter to talk about us. That lets you know that it ain't about money. It lets you know they can have every dollar on the earth. What they do not have is they don't have our power and they don't have our strength. We're wrapping circles around them right now. The new black media and the black grassroots is destroying them, annihilating them. They cannot stand in our presence. They wobbling. It ain't even the TKO. It's a straight KO. Everyone knows this. Nobody relates to Roland Martin. If you sat there and put Roland Martin in front of anybody, 35 and down, 25 and down, they wouldn't even know who he is. The younger you get, the less relevant he will become.
Well,
so when you start talking, go ahead, brother.
You know something about Roland. Now, here's something you might have missed. I caught it while he was saying it. Okay, he's been doing all of the spewing. The B1, and okay, anybody over when he's now getting, he's facing reality, and he gave up somewhat of a concern, because what he interjected in there was he facilitating a meeting of politicians and new black media. So you might not have caught that. It's like, oh, you're trying to enter. That's a concession, brother.
Oh, damn. Hey, brother, good point. Good point. Yeah, hey, look at him. Look at him over there backfiring. He think he be doing something too, man. He ain't nothing but a CWA, man. A coon with an attitude. A coon with an attitude, family. Hey, you know what I said? And I said this on the other space that we held last week, man. I always speak on this when it comes to people like Roland Martin. These guys are, like we said, so upset right now that foundational black Americans are, putting in that work. is that he's to the point in all of them, Van Nessa Jones, Broken Buck Kari Sellers. These people are afraid of foundational Black Americans to the point where they're having, like I said, temper tantrums. And the only reason they're doing this is because things are not going in their favor. Y'all remember back in the days when things were going in the favor of the coons, really during the Obama era, they were kikiing, ha-ha, and showing all their crooked ass teeth. Now, every time you see Roland Martin, all you see is cholesterol pouring out his goddamn pores. You know what I'm saying? He got goddamn lard pouring down his face. He's hot. He's goddamn sweaty. This motherfucker is in distress. He don't know what to do. FBA's got him scared because he knows he's about to be out of a job. He's about to be what I call racially homeless. All right. We know foundational Black Americans ain't fucking with him. The dominant society ain't going to accept him. He don't really know where to go. And he was talking about who's running and do we know who's running? I'm going to tell you who I know is not running. It's his big ass. He's about the only person who ain't running. He ain't seen a goddamn treadmill if you put it in the front. Matter of fact, let me say that back. He's running the KFC, he's running the Popeyes, he's running the goddamn churches, McDonald's, Burger King. That's about the only place where his ass is running. Other than that, he's silent, he's mute, and nobody pays him none attention. And this goes for every last one of them. They're being replaced. The new Black media is in, the old Black media is out, certified Black society is in, and counterfeits are on the corner like it's trash day. I got a question for you though, Brother Zilla, and I think we spoke about this before. When you start talking about the new Black media and all these, new people out here on the West Coast, because like I said, everybody moves a little differently in the country. On the West Coast out there right now, I know they've always had a strong political presence, particularly in California, Black Panther Party, so on and so forth. But who are some new faces? Are there any new grassroots people out there? I remember hearing about, I think it's Asia Brown in California, the mayor of Compton. I remember hearing about her, but not too many other people. Are there some Marcel Dixon type people out there? I know right here in the South and in the Midwest, they're galvanizing and Marcel's leading that bunch. But is there anybody out there on the West Coast? And it doesn't just have to be a politician. It could be an activist. It could be a news anchor. It could just be anybody who's talking Black empowerment. Do we have any young recruits that are coming up right now to help us facilitate that Black empowerment?
Okay. So to answer that question, that's, man, there are a few groups out here, out West, unfortunately. You got to remember, so because a lot of those movements, like the Panthers, started out here, they started making sure they put their street credible gatekeepers out here. So we got a lot of that type of thing going on. The extra, like with the extra rah-rah, we're going to show up and we're going to come and y'all going to hear our demands and then we're going to get power and then we're going to obtain power. And then once we have power, then we can wield power to the people. It's one of them type of deals. And so we have a lot of that going on the West Coast, unfortunately. And then those are the people that always get the damn mic. So when you have, think about this. Out here, y'all hear more about Tariq Nasheed than we ever do on the West Coast. That's because they try to suppress real Black content out here. So for those of us who really talk that, now what they do is, like, for myself, they'll put you on a gang list. That's all they do. They'll put you on a gang list for real. Because if you talking anything militant out here, you go, because they out here understand how they kind of did the Panthers and any militant type of situation. Once you get the title radical, then your name go on a list. So that's how they do us out here. Shit, me, my homegirl, Tony Hill, and rapper Mike Crenshaw. We've been on the list since 2011.
Oh wow! So they're using gang injunctions on you. They're using gang injunctions to stifle like the Black empowerment movement.
Oh man, absolutely. And you think about it. My funk band, every last one of us are listed as gang members. That's how they do out here.
God damn.
So you just kind of, that's why I really have, I don't give a shit mentality. Like, because are you going to stop? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what them people talking about. So you just have to what's inside of you. You understand what I'm saying? And I hope that, I hope that reverberates throughout everyone else, because I'm like, I look at it like, this is the code. The code is like, You remember Planet of the Apes, the newer one, when Caesar got that, he got wise and was like, you know what? I need everybody else to have what I got in me. So instead of me just being the one smart one here on the pedestal, hell no. I'm best served making sure everyone around me is just as sharp. That's my mentality. Because that way, like I said, it's an all-black blitz. And ain't shit you could do about it. So regardless of if you're hearing me, if you're hearing Alpha, you're going to hear somebody off up in this space getting in your ass about our empowerment. And that's how it's supposed to be. It ain't just about the people who are speaking, but, or have platforms and whatnot. It's about all of us. And, we're just a megaphone. That's all we are. Some of us may have, may be a little more articulate than others, but that changes nothing about what we are about. This is about the business of our empowerment, getting our reparations. And one question that I have for you, Brother Alpha, with looking at boycotting this vote. Now, they're already talking about how they're worrying about it. You got Van Jones getting out of here. They got to just sit up here and lie to the Negroes and get them to vote. How do you now, what do you forecast will be their next move, since they are now coming to the realization that we're serious about this and you're going to have to do something? What do you think about that?
That's a good question, family. I was just actually thinking about that the other day. I think they're going to go into ultra desperation mode, which they're already in, desperation mode on a small level. But as we get near to that election and it gets closer and closer and they see that we are not moving off of our square and they cannot knock us off our pivot, I'm opposing that the next thing they're going to do is, they're going to do the gender divide, which is something they love to, rely on. They're going to start talking about, why black men don't vote, why black women should vote. They're going to try to do that. And what they don't know is that's not going to work, because we've already identified people who participate in that type of behavior are just coons. They're just coons. We don't do that, black man, black woman stuff. Nah, we just say coonette and coon. That's it. It's a coon with a skirt on and a coon with some jeans on. That's it. So that's not going to work. And they're going to try to pull that on us. And then I think the next thing they're going to do, and we're starting to already see this, they're going to just amplify it to the next level. Like you were just saying, they're going to start turning it into that hate group shit that they're trying to run with. That's really what they're trying to get on now. And they're going to do that in a multitude of different fashions. But they're going to start talking about how foundational Black Americans are some type of group, that's some gang or some type of crew or some type of clique or some type of, criminal enterprise, because this is where they're at. We all know that they are in desperation. Yesterday is not like today. Today is completely different. When we're on code to the level we're on code with now, they have to get extremely meticulous with their moves and extremely meticulous with their thoughts. So what I'm thinking now, brother, I'm thinking they're going to pull and everything I'm saying right now, we're going to reject. Let me say that now. Every single thing that they're trying to pull out is not going to work. And I say that without a doubt in my mind. They're going to try to pull the gender divide. That shit ain't going to work. Then they're going to try to pull the hate group thing, which they're already doing both of those already. We're already starting to see the seeds growing. And that shit is not going to work because we're already prepared for it. We're on code. When we're not on code, like back in the day when all the boule was running things, they would fall for things over and over. So when they try to hit us with this and we start hitting them across the head with, no, we're a lineage. Okay, we're a culture. We are an actual heritage. They're not going to be able to let those things stick. So I believe, and this is my personal opinion, my Black Alpha opinion, I think they're going to try all of those aspects. And once every single one of those fail, then they're just going to have to accept defeat. Only difference is what we're going to have to do is just get more on code, stay on code, and maintain where we are. I tell the family all the time, don't necessarily worry about doing anything different. Just continue doing what we're doing right now and just do it better. That's it. We already got the blueprint. We got the manuscript, and it's already written, laid out on the table. We don't have to come up with some type of grandioso plan. Our plan is being on code. Our plan is sticking together. Our plan is rejecting any of those falsehoods that they throw at us. As long as we do that, victory is inevitable, and we're going to break the Democratic Party. We're going to break the Republican Party. We're going to break any party that takes us for granted in any aspects, and the tethers included. What do you feel they're going to do next, fam?
It's definitely going to be desperation. And I see desperation coming in a few different ways. One, because the umbrella of Blackness We firmly rejected the MSNBC women are the black or black. The culture is black women. We firmly rejected that because we are calling out the gender divide politics in that. So what they're trying to do is divide a house. Foundational Black Americans, especially since these spaces have been going, have nonstop repeated this point here, and I will make it again. If you are black, that's where it stops. So again, if you are black, one more time, if you are black, then foundational Black American includes what you are. If that is where your lineage is, then that's who you are. So we're just going under the banner of blackness. We don't need black and. I'm black and, like the sexual degenerate that always comes in the tourist spaces talking about their sexual preferences. No, no, no. This is the business of empowerment. And like, I have no, you could do what you want to do, but see here again, you see that individual won't come in here to deter this space because we're not talking about sexual degeneracy. And they know they can't do that here. And I'm still waiting on these Democrats to show up because I know that they're just going to make a space later. And how cowardly, how cowardly. You're not going to confront who you keep calling out, but then go into, so what are y'all gonna go do, a space to have me and Alpha name in it? Why don't y'all come up here now? No, sir. We run the yard. There's a protocol here. You're the new kid on the block, youngsters. I know people call you uncle and people, you think that your money can do something for you. No, 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 no. Money can't buy you respect, player. And we see the dirtbag tactics. Every last one of you Negroes attached to that Caribbean CARICOM, Roland Martin, Uncle Luke. Yeah, bring your bad ass up to this stage. Oh, that's the other thing. Ain't nobody talking slick. By the way, let me clarify that. No one's talking slick. So nobody said nothing slick in that last space. We just said it how it is. Now, if you are a washed up over a hill rapper that they are trying to make relevant again just because of your grimy street cred, well, that is the truth. You know, hey, look at what you have been able to start. So why not bring you out now when the culture is Cardi B and Sukihana? I mean, hell, these are your grandchildren. So I totally get why they would go get Luke. But at the end of the day, this is an intelligent black space. This narrative is being set by, you got educators, you got nurses, you got all kind of folks over here in this wave. But guess what we're not doing? We're not out here looking like clout chasing morons trying to jump in a lane that we're not educated in. And so if we're going to keep it a buck, let's just keep it a buck. When you get on there, start calling out foundational Black Americans with somebody else's talking points, well, hey, we're all talking off the cuff here. You have to take these big old pauses because you don't know how to respond. Stay off our topics, brother. This ain't your bag. And that's all I'm saying. We're doing us now, and it's okay. But see, let everybody know what your real problem is. We put a halt to your little CARICOM finesse. And the more that people start talking about that Caribbean Black caucus sitting up in our caucus, yeah, CBC got to go. I'm looking for any Democrat coming up in here telling me why we still should vote for these people. Y'all had a lot of smoke for me the other day when I posted on my Twitter. These are all the people who needed to be voted out. Where are you now? I mean, Black Alpha, can you tell me why on earth, if we have a Caribbean CARICOM, would we turn around and vote for a Sheila Jackson Lee or vote for a Beatty or vote for a Val Demings? What on earth would possess us to do that knowing how they're actually stabbing us in the back?
It makes literally no sense. And the only thing that would ever make that happen is a bunch of outdated, off-brand, coons. That's the only thing. The reason why this is occurring and the reason why we have to clean house and we got that dustpan, that boom, that mop, and we're out here breaking shit down is because the old coons of yesterday have sold us so short, and they've had so much, as Dr. Claude Anderson says, inappropriate behavior. And as I say, OCB, off code behavior. And now we're cleaning it up. You got people on these reparations panels that don't even qualify for reparations. You know what I'm saying? This just shows you that open door policy that a lot of folks used to have. And they always love that. They always love to keep us, diluted with a bunch of people who don't even need to be in our presence. And the best thing about this, and the reason why you and I and others speak so highly about what's going on now, and we say it with absolute conviction and authority, is because when you look right now and you see things going on, you see we're counterpunching everything they throw at us. Even down to terms. Terms ain't even working no more. We talk about running folks off the block. We done ran terms off the block. When was the last time anybody heard yes, we can? Yes, we can don't work no more. They used to hit that yes, we can shit anytime they were in a jam. They can't do it no more. We done got rid of it. When you start talking about gatekeeping and circling the wagons, we've changed the whole game. People can't come around us anymore being non-FBA and claiming to be FBA and thinking that stuff is going to work. It does not work anymore. Everyone knows that foundational Black Americans have cleaned everything up, and we done ran everybody who does not belong here out of here. I mean, it's to the point where we calling out motherfuckers hairlines. You know you on code when you calling out a Tether hairline. You know you on code. And this is how easy it is for us to spot them nowadays. So when you start seeing things like, as we're saying, they're going to try to run the gender divide, one thing that shows me is look at that Roe versus Wade situation. When I looked at all the footage, because the cameras were rolling, when I looked at all the pictures, sisters was not out there in front of Karen being human shields. Sisters did not go for that. What I say is certified sisters. Sisters did not fall for that at all. Karen was on her own. They paid everybody to try to get sisters to think that was their thing. They ran Stacey Abrams out here. So, Stacey was running around here talking about some, abortion is our issue, and that one chick, Maxine Waters, she was talking about Black women are going to come out in droves. No, the fuck they didn't. Black women sat back and said, we're going to let Karen do for Karen, and we're going to hold our own down. And that gives you those telltale signs that the game is changing. Everything that they used to do that work don't work no more. They used to reach into that trick bag, and as I say, they're reaching in that trick bag now, and they scuffing up their hands and their fingers because there's nothing in it. There's nothing in it. They're getting to the point now where they're trying to adopt and resort to using our terminology. They're starting to say foundational now, but they're trying to say it with some trickery. They're starting to run around here and say things like tangibles, but they're saying it with trickery. And that just lets you know that everything that they've tried has been canceled out, erased, and deleted. And if they think that they're going to run our terminology against us, that really isn't going to work. So they've put themselves in a corner where tethers cannot speak for us anymore because we say non-FBA. And these Roe versus Wade, Karen's running around here, sisters ain't going for that. And all these other groups who try to get in on our ancestral presence, we damn sure ain't having that. So when you look, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, and just all of the dominant society really have nowhere to go. We are the dream that our ancestors dreamed of. We are the people who sat back and said, hey, man, we got to make this happen. When they came hard at Brother Malcolm, when they came hard at Huey Newton, Bobby Seale, Eldridge Cleaver, Kathleen Cleaver, Assata Shakur, they came hard after them because they were trying to stop us. But apparently they never stopped us, so they're going to have to deal with us. And foundational Black Americans are making the waves every single day. So if you think you're getting in on our money, if you think you're getting in on our resources, and you think you're getting in on our tangibles, it is not going to happen.
Man, and that's exactly why I'm so glad that do you know, when I set this space up, I did not yet come across that video. And I'm like, oh, this is perfect timing. I need somebody to come in here and explain this, because so that's why I did my broadcast, because we know how some of those shills, they suppress our numbers, but we know because we hear our terminology spoken. For prime example, Gary Chambers' last little his last little ad, he literally is quoting me word for word off of my broadcast. And I had to tweet him. He ain't responded because it's like, I just can't help but notice that, damn, that sounds like me. Because he's talking about, yeah, man, you don't let them people, let these people talk to our so-called leaders like this. Like, wait. So-called, hold on. I remember saying the exact thing, because these are our so-called Black leaders, and Joe Biden up here talking to him like a child. I'm like, yeah, you can't be around nobody like that. That's no leadership for us. Because I mean, and again, what's so funny is he's literally trying to sound like me. It's like, bro, because you've seen his, so, man, y'all go watch that ad. Like, I might have to go clip that up and just put that side by side. And I don't even have 1,000 subscribers on my YouTube. But let that be a lesson to anyone out here. Do not think that they're not paying attention to you. And y'all be in these spaces, whatnot, be dropping some jewels. Man, there is an agent listening, taking down names of all of y'all sharp ones. So be mindful, folks. You know, your brilliance is not going unnoticed. You guys might not have platforms, but when y'all, y'all will speak. They do know. So when y'all be seeing little things happen, like, why y'all fooling with my spaces? And yo, when you was in there dropping that hot fire, yeah, that's the shit they don't want. Because here's the thing. You don't have a platform, but you able to go in there and blaze the stage. Yeah, that is telling these people a hell of a lot. That is saying, oh, it's not just the people with platforms. No, you can move us out the way and there'd be a whole nother way. What can you do with that? They are worried about us, family. And I think right now is the prime opportunity to seize the moment for ourselves. You must meet our demands. We're not talking about a study. We're talking about a system of justice that's money and protection and land, amongst many other things. A lot of people talk about, well, this is a one-time. Hey, get your mouth off our money. Reparations ain't a one-time check. These people are still living off of money that some of these families ain't even touched the money from this century. So don't tell me about what people ain't got. Trust me, I used to work in the bank. That's why Maxine Waters came out of her pie hole talking about Wells Fargo. Well, aren't you guys releasing the slave ledger? If you noticed years ago, before I actually came out and told you I seen them, these people were telling everybody that there was no record of slave ledgers. Family, let me tell you something about white supremacy. They still have body parts of lynched people. How on earth do you think they would ever get rid of their slave ledgers? That's like porn to them. You understand me? The control and just knowing, yeah, we had them. That's like porn to them. So hell no, they don't. They take very good care of those things. So yeah, they still got them slave ledgers. They know who every last one of y'all are. That's why we're saying foundational Black Americans, they always come to us with questions. You don't need to ask. That's why you ain't seeing nobody hop their ass up on this stage, though. All day, Democrats, just bring your ass up in here. Because we got to vote no matter. We got to vote blue no matter who. And we stuck on stupid. Well, bring it on, man. Bring it on. Tell us little ignorant Negroes that we don't know nothing. We all got behind Marcel and he only got this many votes. Well, y'all still got his name in your mouth now, don't you? So how'd that work out? See, you know by the who you are mentioning, there is power there. And since we ain't asking you for shit, you know what time it is. So this is the vote boycott, whether you like it or not. We're not fooling with you. And you got a whole CARICOM sitting over here. Somebody better come holler at us. You better come holler at us. You ain't gonna wash this away with Roe v. Wade, man. Hell no. How do you have an entire Caribbean Black caucus sitting up in our Black caucus while you telling us what these people can't do? Do you understand why they really came to Jim Clyburn's defense now? Are y'all seeing the connections? This is why they came out so hard against Marcel, because Marcel is a reparations candidate going after the Congressional Black Caucus whip, who has been sitting his butter biscuit ass right there, knowing that there is a Caribbean CARICOM that they are literally discussing giving money to. So not only are you trying to stop our reparations, but you're giving our tax money to the Caribbean. Family, we cannot vote for that whatsoever. please hit up the brother 3 minutes of Black Empowerment to get your vote boycott flyers and JPEG so you can print out your handbills and go forth with the message of reparations and let them know you either cutting the check or everybody going to be uncomfortable. Because no more of this. We are not going to be the perpetual underclass. Why should we sacrifice ourselves still? We are no longer slaves. And voting that vote blue no matter who ain't nothing but slave mentality. That's the, ooh, man, you know y'all gonna make them white people mad now. Well, we ain't them. We are not cut from that cloth. That's why we are of a different generation. We just need you old Negroes, hand over them keys, Pops. Hand over the keys, Pops. I got this. We got this. We got a whole generation. And here's another thing I heard them mention. They also said the next 40 years of the landscape of voting is about to change. Why are they saying that if it's not us? So I just want y'all to know, y'all are making way more of an impact than any of you ever could possibly imagine. Keep the foot on the gas. Can you dig what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother.
Man, all the way 159%, brother. I tell people all the time, we are all in this. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you got 12 followers, 6 followers. Put it this way. This for the family. A lot of people don't even know this. This time last year, I had 3,000 followers. I got 15,000 right now. I got 15,000 today. You feel me? As a matter of fact, tomorrow is my birthday. So we've came a long way collectively as everybody, and it's all because we work together. I don't care what you do. If you got a major platform, you're doing things small, you're doing things big. As long as you out there radiating that FBA energy, that's what changes things. As Brother Zilla said, one person may just have, the microphone at a time, but you're not moving without the group. This is why I would say it's a foundational Black American family tree. We are family. I got all my B1s with me. That's how we got to move and operate. If you look back during the civil rights era and all those other eras, they're always going to show you certain people, but it wasn't just the 1 or 2 people that you see. They were moving as a collective unit with everybody. And as long as we move collectively with everybody, it's on. I look at everybody in these panels, everybody in these spaces. That's the team. That is the team. We be having block party spaces. Zilla, we done roasted a lot of people together. We done ran a lot of folks out the paint, off the block. And, as far as agents go, these agents is coming after everybody out there. They watch us and they got their moves. And remember, you can have different agents. Not all agents got a goddamn, earplug and they saying red team go, red team go. Some of these people are just agents of chaos or agent provocateurs. They could be agents for the Democratic Party. They could be self-serving agents. So we got to watch them. But one thing that always gives me a whole lot of solace is that every time there's somebody funny style lurking around, there's going to be another foundational Black American who hips you to the game and be like, hey, watch that person right there. Keep an eye on that person right there. Zilla, our back channels be loaded. Our back channels be having a lot of information.
Back.
Shout out to Nikki the God. I see you, Nikki, because Nikki be giving me a lot of good information with a lot of funny style people that be popping in and out, and she keeps her eye on them. Tim, I don't know if Tim's out there, but there's a lot of people who, put us on game and let us know, man, there's some funny style characters out there. We're foundational Black Americans, which means this is our country, which means we're in 50 states. We're in 50 states. You're not going to come here and nothing's going to slide by us. Somebody's going to recognize you. Somebody's going to frame you, and somebody's going to call your ass out. And then the information is going to get back to the family. So when these people come in, all these shields and all these, agents, we've been in multiple spaces together, me and Zilla, where somebody will pop on the stage and another person be like, catch that person right there. That's the shield. And then next thing you know, you'll start seeing that disconnected and they'll be running. That's how we're supposed to do it, because we all move as a collective unit. We all move as one. We unite the city and step to the world as a weapon. On top of, politically, this is the same thing that we're starting to duplicate and mimic politically. We're getting together politically and socially, and we're starting to make some actual changes to the whole spectrum. The whole voter populace is changing. Like Brother Zilla was just saying, when you look at any type of forecasting or any type of overseeing of the next few years, you're starting to see a major change in course of what's going on. And if everybody watches it and you analyze it, you see the foundational Black Americans. This is picture perfect timing. Life is timing. A lot of things are about being on the right page, right? Being in the same place at the same time with real ones. This FBA rally that is about to happen in Washington, D.C. in October. Salute to everybody. I will see you there in person. I can't wait. Those things coming naturally. everything just seems like it's just perfect. It is because our timing is impeccable. We're moving together and everything is adding up. So as we have gotten together on code, we have regulated a lot of people. We've changed a lot of minds. We've galvanized, we mobilized. We're very, very motivated. Brother Marcel Dixon's coming from the political aspect. We've already had our master teachers and our pillars in the community. Shout out to all of them. Tariq Nasheed, TBA, Professor Black. I mean, everybody, all of us, man, me, Brother Zilla. Shout out to my brother Afro Elite. I mean, we mob like for real. And we do things on a real serious level, but it all works because we work in conjunction. We work together as a team, and it goes for everybody here. So when we start moving and we start showing everybody that, you know, foundational Black Americans, we ain't at each other's throats. We ain't hating on each other. If they're relying on us to be mad at each other, or they're relying on us to not be able to work together, they're in a wrong state of mind, because right now we're working together at an all-time high. Right now we're, you know, galvanizing, as I say, at an all-time high, and we're getting things done at an all-time high. You're starting to see political savvy people. You're starting to see a lot of entrepreneurs out here. I'm seeing entrepreneurs at the age of 6. Black folks is really out here getting their economic game up. You know, powernomics. Brother Dr. Claude Anderson talks, you know, about this all the time. I'm starting to see Black folks, little kids, you know, having some financial literacy. Things that we've lacked in the past because they didn't give it to us. Now we're taking it. You're starting to see Black folks with little children with damn lemonade stands getting to the bag. You're starting to see people with clothing sites. Everybody got a damn clothing site. You know what I'm saying? Putting out real Black owned things. We're actually operating in every corridor and every spectrum of society. And you got to thank the code for that. We're all on code. This is what happens when you're on code. There's a lot of luxuries and there's a lot of perks when we get on the same accord. And that's exactly where we're at. We're on the same accord. So as I see businesses, and every time I see a Black business, a real one, I don't give a damn if you selling popsicles. I'm going to go ahead and retweet it to those 15,000 followers, and I'm going to let everybody know, go deal with them, man. Do business with them. That dollar is going to circulate right here in the community. We've learned from the mistakes of the past, and we've also learned from the achievements of the past. You can look at Black Wall Street. The anniversary just passed, you know, I think last year. We learned a lot about that, about how we get together and build our own communities. We learned about getting food programs together like the Black Panther Party did. We learned about eating well and taking care of yourself, a lot of health. We learned about all these things, and now we're actually implementing these. And it doesn't take one, it doesn't take two, it takes a whole unit. So if anybody out there is trying to rely on foundational Black Americans slipping up, they done fucked up and dealt with the wrong ones, because this era is completely different, and this era is blazing the path that has nobody seen before. And quite frankly, I'm just happy to be a part of it. To keep it 100 with you, I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm glad I'm a foundational Black American. I'm glad the whole family's in here. Everybody I see right now, we all represented together. And like I said, things that we're doing right now is going to set the path to where the kids coming up underneath us, they're not going to have to worry about good trouble. They ain't gonna have to worry about Edmund Pettus Bridge. They're not gonna have to worry about yes, we can. We're not gonna feed their minds, dilute their minds, and corrupt their minds with all that negativity that the old heads gave us. Instead, we're gonna give them foundational Black American wealth, foundational Black American achievement, and foundational Black American success. And we're all living in it real time.
Brother. Sorry about that. I just got a call. Okay, can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I got you. Perfect, family.
Okay, right on. So again, family, I just again, thank you for everybody who is in this space right now. If y'all could do us a favor and tweet this space out, especially to all of those Democrat, blue, no matter who people, you know, go ahead and tag them in this and ask them if this boycott is the best option for foundational Black Americans. Because see, here's another thing. If you're going to sit up here and have your little Democratic shill spies come in here, well, then come combat the certifieds for real, or just come and say your piece. I ain't even going to say combat, because you could come up here and say your piece. And, you know, as well, I've told y'all, we are doing this space. We're going on a one-on-one basis. So you want to come up, you will be able to be uninterrupted, giving your piece. Now, of course, we had the one tether to come up here earlier. We're not doing none of that. So there is that. But with that being said, I see my brother Afro is in, has finally made it into the building. Let me go ahead and get this brother up here. So yeah, if anybody wants to come in, come on up and chime in on this particular topic, please do, because I know y'all might enjoy listening to me and my brother, but it is also about you. This is an interactive space, so please come on and speak.
Hey, ain't nothing but an FB block party. Ain't that right, family?
Right, man. Okay, so there we go.
All day long, all day. Hey, let me chime in real quick to something that you said a minute ago, brother. Because like I said, I get everything from you guys, man. I listen to y'all and I take a lot of key points from everybody. You just made a real serious point, man. How you said it's all about everybody, and that's the difference between our spaces. That's the difference between our energy than everyone else. When they do things with their only ulterior motives that they keep in house. When you see Luke, they be muting people, blocking folks, won't let people on the stage, cutting them off, all of that. We bring people up, we give them proper etiquette. Now we may roast their ass,
Right.
we may send their ass to running, but at the end of the day, we give your ass an opportunity to speak. We give you an opportunity to speak where you coming from because we got facts behind what we say. They got a lot of conjecture, a lot of loss, bullshit, but we got real facts and statements that we say. So therefore, when we put it down, everyone knows the truth is behind us. And that's why FBA, we walk with that bop, we walk with that step, we walk with that strut, and you move completely different when you're being yourself and you're being real. They are not real and they're not true to themselves. That's why they always slide in, sneak, doing a bunch of low-key undermining things. So as long as we continue to do this, I don't give a damn if it's a Twitter space. I don't care if it's in real life. I don't care if it's in public, personal, private. If you give FBA energy, everything else gets cleared out because we are airtight.
All right. And with that, we have Sun Kiss. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, sister. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm just floored because I've been telling people since the last time I voted, which was when Barry hoodwinked me. Okay. And I voted for him twice. I haven't voted since after that. Of course, local voting is important. Okay. I understand that. Okay. But there's no way. My sister actually told me that I was being selfish for not voting because they needed to get Trump out of office. I couldn't give a good darn if Trump was still in office. I wasn't voting for Biden. I knew all about his history. It's like they don't, they're scared. They're scared. Like, you're voting for a sticker. I voted sticker. What are you doing? Is that all you want? And so, yeah, I was called out selfish, and I didn't care. I didn't care nothing about them. I'm 62, so my sister, I'm the oldest. So those other two, they work in corporate what do you call it? Corporate America, and they're the whole type. They have I wear my hair natural. They wear their hair. They have they have a weave or whatever. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, it's just that they look more European, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, and they're not getting it. They're not getting it. I wish everybody would just withhold their vote. Just don't do it. If you think you want to stick it to the Democrats, then vote Republican. I don't care. Just don't give in to the Democrats. I'm not bringing my booty to the poll until I wake up the next day and the day before and I see money in my account. And I'll land there.
Thank you so much, sister. I definitely appreciate that take. And she's right. Just you can vote for whoever you want to vote for, but understand what you're voting for. You're voting to get something, not just because, oh, this is a Democrat. You can't just do that. That's not going to cut it. So we have to be voting for something. We have to be responsible with our vote. And, with that being said, we have another person coming to the stage. Thought anyway. I don't know what happened. I guess not. So anyway, like I was saying, we have to be responsible with our vote. Okay, hold on. Let me get Big Buddha. So again, how we're doing this today, we're gonna bring up speakers one by one. So if you guys are in the queue, just stay in the queue. We're gonna bring you up. We're gonna get to everybody here. So with that being said, we're bringing Big Buddha. Big Buddha. Go ahead.
Hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, my brother. You got it.
Hey, so I'm from out here in Detroit City, man. I was pretty much guilt tripped into that first run with Obama, supporting that. I went out and voted. This is my first time really getting active in the politics like that. And, before I even went out there, my family was kind of guilt tripping me like, man, you got to give them a chance. We finally got a black president that's going to get in there. And, I feel like I got finesse. You see what I'm saying? Like we was getting killed left and right under Obama, and he wasn't really doing nothing about it. The most he said was, Trayvon would have looked like my son. Like that's not doing nothing. We need protections. We need resources and cash and stuff. We not getting it. And so I've been completely pretty much disengaged from the political process from top to bottom, because I'm seeing people locally getting resources, groups getting resources from everywhere, everywhere they getting resources. I'm like, where ours at? You see what I'm saying? I got a problem with that. But yeah, man, they're not gonna get it for free from me. It's gonna have to be some cash payments, man. Well, yeah, that's where I'm gonna land my
Can you
plane
tell
at.
us what problem you have with that? Can you further elaborate the problem you have with that?
I'm sorry?
Can you further elaborate the problem you have with that, sir?
The problem I have with what specifically?
You just said I have a problem with that.
I'm not sure what you're referring to, sister.
Oh no. I think when you came on stage, you lost part of what he said. But yeah, he's talking about have a problem with getting nothing, getting nothing for something. If that cleared that up. Were you? Did you land your plane, Big Buddha?
Yes, sir. Yes, I did. But y'all have.
Hey, hold on. Hey, hold on, real quick, Big Buddha. You say you in the D, right? You in Detroit?
Yeah, I'm in Detroit City, fam.
Then you know about Toledo, Ohio, right?
Yeah, they close by.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's where I'm from originally. Yes, indeed. Then I feel what you're saying, family, about how they spend a lot of money on a lot of those groups that are not FBA out there. I feel what you're saying on the local level, where a lot of those people, about Dearborn, and I ain't gonna say it, but a lot of those groups that are out in Dearborn, how they get subsidized and they got a whole town, a whole committee for them. So I feel what you're saying, family. I represent what you're saying all the way.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I saw some requests. Y'all might have went out of here, but nonetheless, we now have our other co-host on the stage, Nikki the God. Do you want to say anything while you because I know you got the good connection now. So go ahead, sister.
Yeah, I apologize. I had a really bad connection. All I have to say is I haven't voted for president in years, and I'm the first to admit that I've made the mistake of voting for Barack Obama not once but twice. But I learned. But since then, I have not voted, and I don't feel guilty for it. I do plan, however, to vote locally on what matters locally, but I don't feel like we should give our votes away for free. They have been doing this to us for years. They don't give us anything. We want reparations. We want reparations based on lineage. And until we get something, until we get someone who's running on a pure lineage-based reparations ticket, I'm not voting for anyone because they don't give a shit about us. That's all I have to say.
And I can absolutely dig it. Because they are showing how much they do not care for us by what they're doing. And like I said, with this whole Caribbean Black Caucus sitting in the midst of our Black Caucus, they are literally saying that the first and foremost thing on their mind is the Caribbean, and then gonna turn around and tell us what they can't do for us. It's like they're having whole conferences and meetings about building infrastructure in the Caribbean as the Congressional Black Caucus and their little subgroup, the Caribbean Black Caucus. So, the lady that heads that up, she's from Jamaica. They have a Jamaican ambassador. They have all kind of Caribbean ambassadors. So when you're starting to see all of these people popping out the woodwork talking about, why do you hate us? Why do you hate immigrants? Why? They know good and damn well this is about the money. And so when we said we're just closing off the gates to protect our claim Look at how many hit dogs came hollering. Now we know why. Because y'all are backroom dealing legislation against foundational Black Americans while saying ski-wee in our faces. Yeah, I'm gonna need to know why. I mean, because everybody got tricked before, but man, this isn't no email, Hillary Clinton emails. You can't speculate this. You got a whole CARICOM sitting in the Congressional Black Caucus. You have state representatives from Texas that won't do nothing for the people of Texas, but you're first and foremost focused on the Caribbean. Thanks, Sheila Jackson Lee. I mean, do you understand? We've got to get these people the hell out of our way. And since there's a vote this year, why not start now? Because we need to clean our house. But here's the problem. Everybody else has all these other groups, nationalities, they have representatives that literally represent them. For us, we got a bunch of puppets that absolutely have nothing but disdain for us, grimy enough to tell us that they're one of us while backroom dealing against our interests. How the hell can we possibly figure out voting for them? Hold your vote. Like, again, shout out to 3 minutes of Black empowerment. Go hit that brother up. Cash app that dude $5. You can get your JPEG, and you can print up your vote boycott flyers, your handbills, so on and so forth. Because here's another thing that happened last week after Black Alpha Space. These people went out their way. Shout out to Dee Tubman. She caught that. So Uncle Luke, they were in their space and they're talking about it. One of those other politicians, notice all of the politicians that Luke has on his stage are from the Caribbean. So I hope you see why they threw Luke out there. Luke being Bohemian, they have that whole CARICOM. So you understand, this is about interest. This is literally about financial interest. This is not about acceptance. They'll come in these spaces like, why do you hate us? Why do you hate us? It's dollars and cents, family. It is dollars and cents. And what they want to do is replace us. And they're already doing, they started by having these people who represent the state of Texas and Florida. All these people are immigrants. I'm trying to figure out now, we actually now need to probably re-examine the entire Congressional Black Caucus, because we know the main ones that are immigrants, but it's like, damn, are all of y'all immigrants besides Clyburn being a homegrown coon? I mean, we got to really seriously examine this, family. So with that being said, again, y'all go ahead and tweet this space out to whoever Democratic shields that you know of that want to come and get some of this, get some splaining up here. Because here's a space that you can't do any gaslighting. You're going to have to come up here and give us a true explanation on why a vote boycott is not our best option. I would love to hear that. And as long as we've been going, brother, do you understand? Ain't no Democrat vote blue, no matter who, dare step on this stage. What you got to say about that, brother?
They know where they're going to catch that work and they know where they're not. I've noticed that before. Any real certified, thorough space that is dropping real facts and real intelligence, they hide from, because you're dealing with sleazy people. Something I say on my Black Alpha Cast on my YouTube channel, I say it all the time. I say, when you deal with shameless people, you get shameful things. And that's what they are. They do a lot of that. But their whole operation is based on this. Everybody that we deal with as foundational Black Americans are people who have no backbone. They spineless, sleazy. I mean, like I said, it takes a very sleazy person to come to someone else's country and disrespect the people who built it. It takes a real sleazy person to say they created hip hop knowing damn well they did not. To say that they built the country and they did not. To say that they are creating everything that we've created, everything we've innovated, and they know damn well they did not. These are who we're dealing with, and these are the individuals that we come across on a day-to-day basis. Foundational Black Americans, we don't have any issues with anybody. As our brother Kaba says, our only issue is that they got an issue. But the problem is everybody comes to us as a victim. They're like all-time victim. That's how they got to play us. It's always FBA did it, FBA's fault. The one thing that the dominant society and every tether has in common is that they always throw rocks and hide their hands. And then they point their fingers at us. They go snitch on us. They go tattletale on us. They have TTTs, tether temper tantrums. These things always go on. And anybody who wants our money, that is actually completely against the political structure of this country. The Japanese got reparations. So the Vietnamese, they weren't entitled to it. Chinese weren't entitled to it. The Cambodians weren't entitled to it. You didn't see any of them coming around and saying, wait, we're all Asian, so should we get it? But when it comes to us, this is the type of approach we receive. Why? It's because of flat blackness. And we're in the era now where we're eliminating flat blackness. They used to live and they used to breed off that. Flat blackness, it benefited so many people other than foundational Black Americans, and now they can't get it no more. In the Democratic Party, they were in conjunction and complicit with that because all those other groups were their little pets, their little lapdogs. They love tethers. Let's get this straight. The Democrats, the reason why they roll out all these tethers and these Caribbeans from Luke to Sheila Jackson is because tethers are very friendly to the dominant society. They want to come over here and be accepted. They want to come over here and assimilate. They don't want to come over here and be like foundational Black Americans. If they have a choice where they can deal with FBA or they can go deal with Karen, they picking Karen 10 times out of 10. Because that is who they strive to be. You can look at their homelands. That's why I tell everybody, focus on global supremacy. When you understand global supremacy, you'll see why everybody comes over here and they mimic supremacy. Because they, in their own homelands, they either practice black on black crime, which is tether on tether crime, or the brown hates the black. Go down to South America and you're going to see real quick that they got a lot of Black folks. Blacker than midnight, but they get treated like dirt. When you go over to Africa, they hate other Black folks. Love when the Asians come over. Will throw a damn parade, carry them on their shoulders, wave their flags. Love when the colonizing white folks come over. Will do the same thing. But let one FBA go over there and they throwing a kata at us left and right. So everybody mimics the dominant society. And when they come over here, they do the same exact thing. And the first thing they want is they want to come at foundational Black Americans funny. Now, when the coons of yesterday used to let them get away with it, they got coon comfortable. They was kicking their little feet up and enjoying the ride. Now, foundational Black Americans are telling them, you can't come in. As you say, Brother Zilla, that door is closed and you're going to have to pay some premiums. And first off, you're not getting our money. Second, you're not taking claim to anything that we created. You're not taking claim to anything that we ever come up with. So at the end of the day, tethers and the Democratic Party together, because you can't separate the two of them. You cannot separate the two of them. They all work together as a team. They are shit out of luck. They have nowhere to go. So they can come to our panels and we're going to G-check them. Y'all seen what they did out there on the West Coast. They was trying to make that flat blackness about racism and all that. And we said, no, lineage based. And that's the mentality that we got to approach everything with. Lineage, everything. Lineage walk, lineage talk, lineage thoughts. Everything you do has to be lineage first. And we got to keep pounding them across the head with that because they're going to try to spin us in this direction, spin us in that direction, put every little tag on us and make us seem to something we're not. But at the end of the day, they're going to all have to deal with the fact that foundational Black Americans are a lineage, a culture, and a heritage, and we don't pivot, we don't fold for nobody.
Facts. Facts. And neither should we. I mean, again, this is the generation, like I say, if not us, then who? You know, we are it. You know, family, and I hope that all of you who are listening right now understand that. We are the new leaders. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it starts with yourself. So that change your mind. That's why they said the revolution ain't going to be televised, because the revolution starts in your mind. And here is the humongous, scary thing for them. We are looking to ourselves and we are setting our own standard. That ain't been done before, family. And they're always used. If y'all notice how some people come in our spaces, they'll come on our timelines, and they keep talking to you like as if you should just be like, okay, well, the white person said it, so I guess it must just be true. But, you know, you're like, hey, I don't give a damn well what you talk about. Matter of fact, your opinion doesn't even matter here. Get your ass out of here. So they're not used to that. But, I mean, I'm from Portland, Oregon. One of the biggest things that you can do to piss off a white supremacist is ignore them. Because they're like big children. Oh, my God, pay attention to me because I still have to feel like I'm superior. But you're not, though. I mean, you have to have signs everywhere just to tell you to wash your damn hands. What are you talking about? Family, if you all ever think that y'all are underneath these damn people, man, please. That ain't the way I see it. You understand? And maybe that's just what's changing. More people like myself brother Alpha, Afro Elite, all the rest of y'all in the man. We take it to the throat, man, for ours. Because I mean, what else we got? We ain't got nobody else but us. We have no friends, so all we got to do is ride for ourselves. Shit, why not? What do we got to lose? We already at the bottom anyway. They're trying to make us a permanent underclass. I think right now would be the best time to make sure we seize the moment. And that's why, just look at it this way, family. Don't get it twisted. With all these faces in this space right now, all of these little Democratic shields know that this space is going on. They don't want this work. They don't want this work whatsoever. But I'm here. I'm here for a little while. Y'all, I'm just Tar Perry, where you at? Like, I don't need to do no Twitter thread, none of that. I mean, you're the reason why I even came out with Grassroots COINTELPRO tactics in the first place, with that black pack, which ain't nothing but an offshoot of all this other madness. Yeah, please. I've been around this for a minute. So bring your asses home. We talking voting. We got to vote blue no matter who, right? And who was the other dude that always come in these spaces, the weirdo? Oh man, you really think that the Republicans, you think it's more likely that they support reparations than the Democrats? We don't care about no Democrat or Republican. This is our business, doofus. Jeez, you guys act like y'all can't talk without them. Don't come to me talking like that. When I speak to y'all, I don't even consider them. That's why half the time they like, I don't even understand what this post means. Right, because I ain't talking to you, white boy. Move on. I'm sorry, y'all got to just forgive me. This is just my nature, and I don't really rock with them people like that because they hate our guts. But here's the other problem. We got these people that look like us, but really rock with them. So it's a whole anti-black agenda going on within the political structure of the Democrats. So now come in here and ask me that question. But since he, I know he sees this because he always likes to hop on the stages and ask the same dumb shit all the time. Where you at now, sir? All you little Democratic skills. Nobody wants none? Man, come and make me look stupid. Now somebody come up here and come defend how we have a whole CARICOM sitting in our Congressional Black Caucus. Anybody, I'm waiting. Yeah, you're done. Cut that check, or you're finished, man. Because you cannot ever say nothing to black folks another day while you have a whole CARICOM sitting in our Black Caucus with your state representatives talking about we have the Caribbean first and foremost. Y'all gotta go. Y'all, yeah. Any of you, Nikki or Alpha, want to chime in on that?
Go ahead, Nikki. I'll jump in after you.
Actually, I need to drop down. I apologize. I need to drop down because my phone is going dead. Sorry.
It's all good.
It's all good, family. All good. Hey, I got something to say about that, Zilla. I'm never at a short for words. The best way you put it, family, is they're desperate. They're desperate right now, and we should all rejoice in that fact. We should all rejoice. Anytime you think about all the games and the benign neglect that the Democratic Party has done, just straight out disrespectful, and all the coons who have been complicit in the minions of the dominant society, we just need to watch these people break. It's all about breaking the Democratic Party. That's what my mentality is. That's my approach, and that needs to be the play. The play needs to be breaking the Democratic Party, not just sitting back, not just not voting, not just boycotting, watching them fall. Because we already have them in a position where they need us. We don't need them. It's already been proven. Foundational Black Americans have done everything for that voter bloc. We have came for them. We have done everything, sat out in the rain, the cold for 60 years. We've taken so many things from them. Our grandparents, a lot of our parents, we got coons in the family. A lot of us do. I'm just being honest. I got an auntie where she just swears by the Democratic Party, and that's cool. She's going to stay on that plantation forever. We not. We're going to keep it moving. So what we got to do now is watch them fold and watch them break. That's what I want. You got to be careful. A lot of these black folks running around here talking about overthrowing that party. I'm not concerned with overthrowing them or taking it over. We ain't doing none of that. First off, that's a 200-year plan. I ain't got that kind of time. I want my money, reparations. So what we need to do is watch them fold and watch them break. We need to take every political action of, dismissing them and putting them off to the corner. Like I said, whether that is getting your own black grassroots candidates or that is completely sitting out, and they will start to lose elections. And this is all based on winning elections. They'll do anything to win an election. So if we are the main ones who make them lose the elections, that is going to be us succeeding. I sit back, watch every single situation that occurs in this country politically, and foundational Black American fingerprints are all over it. All over it. Everything they do, everything they try, all of these shields that pop up out of nowhere. Luke got a new shield every weekend. I don't know who none of these people are. He done got these folks out the damn dumpster, out the trash can, off the corner, wherever he got them from. We send their asses right on back. And that's how we got to continue to do it. And we can demonstrate that in a real way. They violate, we demonstrate. So the best means of breaking the Democratic Party is a complete withdrawal. There's always going to be coons on the plantation. That's fine, cool, fine and dandy. They can go there. But guarantee if they stay on that plantation, they're going to go down with that plantation because that plantation is finished. Everyone knows foundational Black Americans are in the position right now where our political game is up. Our social game is up. Our intelligence, our wherewithal, our business manner, our business acumen is really popping heavy right now. So we continue to push this. We can continue to make the Democratic Party fold. And it has nothing to do with the Republicans. The Republicans, they're going to fold any goddamn way. I always say this. Whenever somebody says you guys are on that Republican stuff, listen, the Democrats get 98% of the vote, so they're going to catch 98% of this smoke. Straight up. And the Republicans, they're going to catch it too. Anybody. We don't give a damn about your party affiliation. We're all about policy. Do you have a Black agenda? If you do not have a Black agenda, then we're going to put you on that G-check list. And that G-check list is not a good place to be on. Look at that tether who was here earlier, Beatzilla. He seen what happened. He got out of there. All these tethers and all these dominant society folks that come running into these spaces, notice they don't step foot in ours because they know FBA energy is different. It hits real different. So they stay in their own little spaces and they throw their little shots. But look at that. Ain't that a sign that we got them shook? The fact that they got to stay away from us. You feel me? They got to stay away from us. They know what it is. They know where they're comfortable at and they know where they're uncomfortable. And in FBA space with real certifieds, we can go tit for tat with them. We can throw this shit back like frisbees if we want to. It doesn't matter. So if they think that we're the coons of yesterday, they got another thing coming. This ain't the Boule. This ain't the HBC coons. None of that. This is certified Black society, certified foundational Black Americans, and we have a real Black agenda. So what I should say, and shout out to brother 3 Minutes of Black Empowerment. Yes, his boycott is great. Everybody go check out his videos and actually study it. You can go ahead and get you some of them flyers and pass that out. All of those things. We need all of those so we can go ahead and get real political power because our prowess is very strong right now. And in terms of voting, everybody who voted for Barack Obama in the past, we understand it took those things for everybody to wake up. You know what I'm saying? They ran a real good con game. They ran a real good hustle when it came to Barack Obama. That's cool. But all that did was show people because look, they tried to run that again with Kamala Harris and did it work? Nah. It didn't work at all. No, they had to try to run the same exact game. They said, Ketanji Brown or Jackson, whatever fuck her name is, they tried to run that same game with her. Blacks did not go for that. That first Black shit, no. So all Obama did was woke Black folks up to the game and showed us the cons that they were going to come up with. And every single time they run one now, we send it right back to them. So I suggest everybody out there, and I already know the families on this game, we should sit back, watch the Democratic Party just fold. Because if we vote for them, we're going to get the same benign neglect. And if we don't vote for them, we're going to watch them crumble. I always say this. If you want foundational Black Americans to always be broke, vote for the Democratic Party. But if you want to break the Democratic Party, foundational Black Americans don't vote.
I completely agree, my brother. And that is the point of this space. We have now have, get your name right, Judge Sarah. Judge Sarah on the stage. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, sister.
Thank you. I appreciate it. First I want to say thank you. I've been sitting here. I was on my way out when I started listening, and I was like, Sam, they ain't here showing up and showing out. I appreciate you so much. You know what? I want to talk about the boycott and holding the vote. I'm developing a Black party, and we definitely need an alternative to the Democratic Party. Pardon my French if I speak, vulgar, but it's how I'm feeling. Fuck the Democrats. They're not for us. And then we have the alternative, the red party. Let me say this to you. I I don't see boycotting the vote as being very strategic. And I know it's like, well, okay, what's the alternative? I believe that we need to build a foundation, a black party where we develop power. We need to be able to flex our power. Let me say this to you. And many of you may not know this, but the reason why Donald Trump won is because Generation Y did not vote, was refused to vote for Hillary Clinton. Um, and that's what happened. I think if you guys remember, Hillary was crushed because she didn't anticipate him winning. And like my daughter taught me about Bernie Sanders and that whole generation, excuse me, they were not fucking with Hillary Clinton. So how he won is he Donald Trump won because Generation Y refused to vote for Hillary Clinton. They hated her. They knew her history. They were very much aware of who she is and what she is, and they were not going to vote for her. Um, with that said, again, I think that's important. What we have to do, and it may take some time to build this party and to create this power. But when you hold your vote, I don't think that's strategic because for them, it's like, okay, if you got 10, if you have 10 votes, if two don't vote, you're not hurting them because you're not voting for the alternative. I don't think the Democratic Party really sees a real threat if you hold your vote, long as you don't give your vote to the other candidate. It's not moving the ball forward for the other person to win, or you're not really hurting them, if that makes sense. I mean, I do understand. It's like, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I voted for Hillary Clinton, and when I walked to the polls, I was sick. I mean, I was literally, I had anxiety because I knew I didn't like a lot of things she had done in the past, but I didn't want to vote for the crazy white man. So, I was kind of stuck. I don't know if that was a smart move on my part, but honestly, I really tremendously remember when I went to go vote for her, it felt sick in my stomach that I was voting for her, but I felt like I had to do something. And so I think we're in a catch-22 place where we have to start being strategic as a group. And that's one of the reasons why I'm developing this Black Party where we can create our own candidates. I'm very concerned about the reparations talk. I'm in California, and in California, you guys, y'all don't know, California is a Jim Crow state. Y'all don't know that because the media is down with it. The media does not report the shit that go on here. They kill black men every day in California, and you hear nothing about it.
Hmm.
I believe the reparations talk. I think that is a carrot they're dangling before you, so you can vote for the blue party. So yeah, I think I'm gonna land there. So again, my major thing is, I know it's a hard conversation. Do you not vote, or do you vote? I mean, for me, I I think as a group, we need to turn California red, and I think you might have some apprehension about that. But turning California red is just a power move. It's to say, look, we got the power, we got the unity. You think we can't stick together, stand together, and focus on one goal together? That's how you demonstrate power in this country, if that makes sense. But I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Before you go, I have a couple questions. First question, to your comment about going to the polls when you voted for Hillary Clinton, you said you felt sick about doing it. Now that right there, it didn't sit right in your spirit.
Not at all. And I'm being honest. I was sick. I had
But see,
anxiety. For
and see,
real.
here's the point. Now you're afraid to step into the not voting realm, but you've already did it with heavy anxiety. Why not try something else?
I don't quite understand what you're saying.
You voted
Okay, so what were you
with
insinuating that I should not
apprehension.
vote at all? Is what the point you're trying to make, that you think it's better off if I don't vote?
No, I'm asking you what the difference is. If you were apprehensive and you still did it anyway, why not try the other way?
And what would be the other way?
Not voting.
Because again, brother, my background is business. I have a degree in finance, and I understand math. Not voting for the other person It's not going to hurt. That's what that's the part I don't think y'all get. If you do not vote, this is one of the reasons why I think Ice Cube came out at the very end and said, "Don't vote. Why vote? Don't vote." And that was cause the Red Party, I believe, put pressure on him, coached him, because listen, what I'm trying, they don't give a fuck about us, okay? They don't give a fuck about us. And not voting, I just don't think you recognize the power of not voting. If you don't vote, you're not hurting them. The only way you're hurting them if you give the vote to the alternative. You think us sitting out, let me tell you something. The white feminists and the gay community, they gonna rock with the blue party. Period. They don't need us. And that's why we have to create power. The point is creating power. And I know we can do it. I know it's going to take time and effort and us to get on one accord. If we, what I want black men to turn California red. That's my goal. That's my vision. And this is a power move. Okay. At the end of the day, they're not giving us anything. They're not going to give us stuff until we put fear in their heart. And when they see we moving together and we voting together, we're deciding this is the candidate what we want. Once this is, I know how they move. Okay, I know exactly how they move. Once they know that we are together, that we say, okay, we want to put this person in the party, all our voters going to this person, then you get power. Then they hear us. Then we matter. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get your point, but you're actually kind of making my point for me. Because what I'm telling you is, what I look at it like this: you're looking at red and blue. I'm only looking at black. So if you're not really looking at turning the situation black, because that is what we're talking here: black empowerment, not Democrat, not Republican. So our best interest. And here's the truth. Here's the truth of the matter: Democrats, we would not be, this little small group would not be mentioned amongst the world about not voting if we did not matter. So let's take that out of the mix, because when you're in business, one rule of business: nothing of value would ever get mentioned. So let's start there. So yes, we definitely do control a voter block, and we also control the future of voting as well. We're well aware of this fact. So absolutely, at this point, it would be in our best interest to sit this vote out, because that is taking power. Silence is also power.
Okay, so can you explain? Okay, so because you kind of took me back a minute. I don't think you heard me say I'm building a black party. We are the people. Okay, the black party. We belong in, this is our country, and I mean that. Okay, and what happens is I get emotional because I get angry because I don't like being last. Okay, and so what I heard you say is that you think that we can create power by not voting, and I understand where you're going with that, but what I don't understand is I don't see how do you get power. What I think you think is that holding our vote, if they're going to say, "Uh oh, they're not voting for us, so we better do something." They don't give a fuck about us, brother. Trust me when I tell you. Like y'all seen it talking about television alternatives, they can always replace us, and that's what they're doing. And they're replacing us because we're not creating power as a group. I'm talking about black power. I'm talking about black people coming together, flexing their power. I mean, I think that we're not getting each other's point. I don't see any benefit in holding your vote because it doesn't scare them. It doesn't make them move anything. They don't give a fuck. You
Okay,
see
let
that
me ask you
shit.
this. Let me
Okay.
ask you
How
this,
many of
sister.
us don't vote anyway, brother? How
Wait,
many of us don't vote?
let me ask you this. Where are we harmed in that? If we collectively do not vote, how are black people more collectively damaged than we are right now for throwing a vote at Joe Biden, who is already putting out a new crime bill? And then
I'm not,
before you mentioned that you also voted for Hillary Clinton, which
and
is
was
even
sick
worse
about
than
it. And
Biden.
was sick about it. Because I'm
So
honest. Hmm.
okay, so with the black party that you are starting, that
Hmm.
now again, like I said, we're making it black. So how does voting for red help that black party?
Okay, so if you vote for red, and okay, so and this is stuff that I'm learning, and it's just all a work in progress. If we give our vote to the red party, brother, it's less likely the blue party's going to take us for granted. The problem is they take us for granted. And so what I hear a lot of people saying is if we hold the vote, well, they expect us to vote blue anyway. Let me keep it 100. I'm a registered Republican. Okay. So I I understand politics. Specific things that I have values about. Okay, and some of that is more aligned with the red party. I'm not for them talking crazy about black people and not acknowledging us. Okay, but again, that's some political shit. The Republicans who are not racist or whatever, they don't want to be heard or seen. They're showing the racist Republicans, the ones that's talking about us crazy. That's by design. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I don't know. What I hear you saying is, okay, don't vote. And so we don't vote. We ain't gonna be harmed any further. What we listen, we are last black people in this room. We have been last our entire lives. So it's time to make a plan and stick to the plan. And not voting, sitting it out is not movement. It's not action. We need action. If this country knows California black men turn California red, do you understand the power that would give you? Do you understand the equity that would give you if we as a group, I'm talking about black men. See, what I don't like, I didn't want to talk because y'all was in here doing it and I was loving it. Okay, I understand the difference between a man and a woman, and I play my position. I like men being men. Okay, I don't like how they marginalize and bring harm to black men. Okay, it's a whole lot of things in the consciousness and the optics and how it looks. Do you understand what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
you know, I hear you saying hold out and just don't vote. And I understand there is some power because they're like, we decide we ain't voting for nobody. And that's going, it might make them think and wonder. But see, the thing is, they're not afraid of us. They're not scared of us.
Wrong, wrong, wrong.
Okay.
Don't you tell,
All right.
don't convince yourself of that. Yes,
Okay.
they are. They're very well afraid of us. They wouldn't go. We wouldn't have had. There's no need for COINTELPRO if they ain't afraid of us. So stop telling yourself that.
Well,
Because I mean,
okay.
we had black leaders, and our black leaders have been assassinated. Absolutely, we matter. Don't tell yourself that they ain't scared of us.
To them, we matter. You think we matter to them? Okay, so let me
This
say this
country,
to
this
you,
country doesn't exist without us. So
bro, and
start
I
there.
know that.
But they,
Bro,
so they,
that's what I'm
so listen,
saying. You think
listen,
you think
listen,
okay? So
listen. Let me explain something here, because I don't want to get this to derail. What I need to say here is this: we, as a black collective, are not looking to go up under any white party, whether it be left, whether it be red. We are a collective group saying, do business with us. The line that you are giving us right now is that we are putting the power in someone else's hands. It's like Wakanda. We don't do that here. We keeping it black, focused on us, certified on us, starting inward out, not outward in. So I need to clarify my position when I say we're holding our vote, because I fully am aware that they are aware of us, and they're aware, like this space we just had last week, that they are worried about us holding out. And they're already admitting that we're changing the landscape of voting for the next 40 years. I need you to we recognize and are very well aware of what we're talking about. That's what I'm saying. We're not ignorant up here. So it's not like saying something, but what we cannot do is fall into the same old bad habit. We have to try something new. So to say, go to this white man, go to that white man, nah, we need to focus on us. And if it does not harm us not to vote, then I cannot see how that strategy does not work. Because how are we losing? Again, I would have to say, and again, everything we do because we are foundational black Americans. There is no other group on the planet that they are afraid of. That's why they've castrated our ancestors. This is very well documented. So let's make sure we stay on that. And I never would want anybody interjecting that we don't scare white folks. That's crazy. Go ahead. Black.
No, well, I appreciate you, and so let me tell you something. I love black people, and where we are right now is that we just have a disagreement, and it's okay, black man. I love you
Absolutely.
because you look like me, and I appreciate everything you're doing. What's happening is that we don't agree, and it's okay.
Likewise,
All
sister.
right,
Absolutely.
it's all
Absolutely.
right. Thank you, but I appreciate you. I had things to do. Y'all got me caught up in this room listening to that. I'm loving it. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you for
Well, thank
speaking.
you.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Now, Black Alpha, before I bring the next person up, I know you wanted to go ahead and chime in on that. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. Boy, there's a lot to unpack. Let me unpack it. First off, when we walk around and we have this mentality, like if we don't vote, that's going to hurt us. Last time I checked, foundational Black Americans are hurt. Education, healthcare, when it comes to business, we get the least amount of loans. We're harmed in the street. We get no justice, no reparative justice, nothing. So anybody running around here thinking if we don't vote, this is going to happen to us. Man, this has been happening to us for 500 years. I'm starting to get some, Republican vibes. I ain't gonna lie. I was catching some real serious Republican vibes, and then it was a minute, but it is what it is. And another notion is if you think that you're just going to go vote Republican and that's going to change the day, all you're doing is jumping from one plantation to the next plantation. And that does not work. That's what got black folks in the same position. Be honest with you, that's the equivalent of black folks saying anybody but Trump and running to Joe Biden. And then you'll say anybody but Joe Biden, then you run to Trump. You're still going to be left with white supremacy. And the goal is to replace the system of white supremacy with a system of justice, not to run from one white supremacist to the other. We don't play favorite racist. All that favorite racist stuff has never worked. That's always been to our detriment. Now, I understand trying to get our own black grassroots candidates. That is always where we need be. But if you do not have a black grassroots candidate, do not vote. Do not vote with hands tied behind your back. Do not vote just because. We've been doing things just because for too damn long. I'm not into just because. Just because gets us nowhere. We're going to vote just because. We're going to beg just because. We're going to pray just because. Just because does not yield results. This is the results era. I want results and I want them now. I don't have time to be waiting for 400 years. I don't have time to be waiting for the civil rights era to go walk on the bridge or wait till Martin Luther King come back. Fuck that. I want it today. I want my money today. I want my reparations today. Cut the check today. And this is the difference between this era and the eras before. So you see a difference in mentality. You see a difference in approach. How me and you approach it, Brother Zilla, we approaching it black, certified black, not certified red, not certified vote blue no matter who. Fuck that. Anything that gets in the way of foundational Black American success is going to have to get pushed out the way. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you from. So that mentality that we're just going to go vote Democrat, vote Republican, man, get out of here with that. I'd rather sit home and throw a no vote party, go pop me some goddamn popcorn, sit back with my pit bull and watch TV than go sit in the rain and go vote for any white supremacist. That's just not happening. And if you're sitting here thinking that we should vote for one party and go to the next party, that's basically you admitting that you don't believe white supremacy exists in both parties. All that shit where, some of the politicians is racist and they only show you these. Man, I don't care who they show you. They all racist. They're all white supremacists. That's another thing where black folks is lying to themselves. We got to quit playing. All right, the days of playing is over. This is the 11th hour. We ain't got time to be playing no more. That's the problem to that lady. Ain't nobody playing with you. You walk up and down these streets all day playing. Quit playing. Get real. Put your mind where your mind is. Put your thoughts where your thoughts are and get real about certified black excellence. And you only get that and you only achieve that by thinking about self first. Don't just think self first and then think blue when you get to that voter box. Don't think all this black stuff, because a lot of folks be running around here talking about black grassroots, black power, black excellence, my brother, my sister, and they get in that damn voter box and they talking about vote blue, vote Biden, anybody but Trump. You got to practice that every day, all day. A lot of these fake black grassroots people are running around here. They're claiming to be black grassroots, but in reality, all they are is Democratic shills undercover, Democratic ops undercover, and we see them. So they'll spit all this bullshit about, who to vote for, who not to vote for, but we see what it really is and we understand the play. I'm all about getting black empowerment in that box. I don't care who you are. You got to have a black agenda. And let me say this too, because this is another con game they running on the family, and I don't want the family to fall for this. We got to be real cautious about this. Get involved locally. First off, that's another myth because black folks are very involved. All right. There's nobody else on election day that you see sitting in the rain, getting poured on in the snow, rain, sleet, hail, snow, than black folks. Black folks are very involved. Black folks are very intelligent. We know exactly what's going on. We're not in this position because of lack of intelligence. We're in this position because politicians give us a lack of a black agenda. Okay. White supremacy has put us here. Black folks understand politics well. You mean to tell me these other groups understand politics more than us? The Ukrainians ain't even from America, and they're going above us. The Afghan refugees ain't even from America, and they're going above us. All those goddamn people at the border that they're bringing on in, all these immigrants that they're pulling from every South American country, they're getting tangibles above us. Is that because they understand politics more? Is that because we need to learn more? We need to sit down. They talk to black folks like we preschoolers, like we out here just twiddling our thumbs. We understand politics more than anybody out here because we have devoted ourselves to it. Our issue is they don't meet us halfway, and we've been doing that bullshit of going to vote blue no matter who, or go vote red and fuck what they said. Man, none of that. Our issues are not with our mind. Our issues are not with focusing. Our issues are getting rid of white supremacy. And that goes on in both parties. And we got to remember, when it comes to white supremacy, the Democrats and the Republicans are what I call race brothers. All right. They will team up if it means bringing down black folks. This little situation where you think that one is on our side and one's not, man, forget that. Black folks have this thing where we always got to make a hero and a villain out of the Democrats. We got to make a hero and a villain out of two different white people. This ain't Batman and the Joker. Sometimes they both the villain. And when it comes to black folks, all the time they're the villain. You'll see these two folks get on TV, get on camera. It's just like wrestling. They'll be like the WWE. They'll be hitting each other with steel chairs, and they'll be wrestling, throwing each other in headlocks. They go backstage when them cameras ain't rolling. They going out to dinner, and they calling us NIGGER. Okay, both of them. You feel me? They both are. So it all starts in the mind and understanding. Supremacy infiltrates every aspect of society, especially the voting process. So the only way that we defeat that is by getting black grassroots candidates and picking them, not having them handed to us. They tried to do that with Barack. Remember Barack? They was like, he's a black grassroots guy. No, the fuck he was not. He was handpicked, cherry picked. We got to get our own guys. We need to put them forth, or we sit out. Those are the only two options. And don't let anybody tell you that involving yourself in the system that does not serve you is healthy for you, because that is a lie. And that's the same mistakes they've been running for 60 years. Unfortunately for them, this B1 Foundational Black American Certified Black Society today, we're not going to make the same mistakes of the past. We're not going to be out here marching. We're not going to be out here begging. We're not going to be out here quoting
You must. You there, brother?
Yeah, they jumping on me, family. I'm good. Yeah, they're not gonna be out here doing none of that for us, foundational Black Americans. We're gonna get real political power. So, family, be real cautious of people who start talking that and telling you to go from one plantation to another, because all you're gonna end up is on the plantation.
Big facts, brother. 106. You can unmute yourself, brother. Go ahead.
For sure. Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You good?
Yeah, man. I just want to thank y'all, man. Y'all got a wonderful room going on. I've been listening, bro. Y'all keeping it 100. I just wanted to, I ain't gonna hold y'all time too much, but I just wanted to address this. These Democratic sheriffs, especially like, Uncle Luke and Roland Martin and all these different type of people, they telling us, oh, y'all don't support locally. Just like you were saying, y'all don't support locally. So here, like in Louisiana, they got a candidate, Garrett Chambers. This man, y'all was just speaking about him earlier, right? He taking your talking points, because that's what he do. They low-key watch everything that be going on, right? So James Carville just dissed this man, like totally attacking him on some type of racist stuff. So you would think, since this a man that, he pretty PC, this somebody that all the Black Democratic sheriffs should be supporting, James Carville and this man, and nobody saying nothing about it. It's radio silent. So my thing is, if FBA or somebody would have said something about this man, it'd have been 100 spaces talking about how divisive we are. But when you got the Democrats, and this man is like a top tier Democrat, so you got this man attacking somebody who don't even really be going off code. Like, I mean, he stick to the Democratic line for the most part. He a little liberal or whatever, but like he pretty much a politician. So why they not attacking James Carville? They act like the man don't even, like, he don't exist or something like that. Like, he could come out and diss, but then if FBA was to say the same thing, you know, they'll be going off on us. Like, why are they radio silent when it comes to the Democrats and they telling us to vote for these people, and these people obviously playing both sides of the fence. So I just wanted to just like get an understanding on that. Why they so silent about this? I'm trying to get an understanding. Thank y'all for your time.
Hey, let me take that real quick, Zilla. Hey, that's a
Yes,
good
sir.
point, man. You see that double-sided thing everywhere, brother. You right exactly about that. Not seen that situation. Carville was running his mouth. Let FBA say that. They be trying to pull in the National Guard on us. This is what you see consistently when it comes to it. They put these things on us that do not apply to us, and they give everybody else just red carpet treatment. Everybody. People who are not even from the United States of America. And if you look at it, all we're doing right now is exercising our constitutional rights, and everybody got smoke with us. Those Roe versus Wade protests where Karen was in the streets running around throwing Brussels sprouts all over the goddamn place, we ain't doing that. We operating within the political structure of the United States of America. We're making reparations claims. Don't let nobody play stupid. We're making the same exact reparations claims that everyone else has made. The same ones that the Japanese, that the small hat community, everybody else has made. We're doing it the same way. We're doing it, quite frankly, very noble. And we got every reason to tear shit up, but we're not. So the fact that they're treating us in this benign neglect, mentality and this benign neglect to approach, it shows you what they're going to do ahead of time. If you ever want to know how they're going to approach us in the future, look at how they're approaching us today. The same way they try to derail us before we get started, let you know what type of time they're on. So since we already know what type of time they're on, let's just get on our time and do for self. Foundational Black Americans have to continuously do for self, do it in the most arrogant way, be conceited. I don't give a damn, whatever gets the job done and whatever gets results. Because remember, we're not doing nothing different than what everybody else has been doing. The only problem they have is that foundational Black Americans are thinking about foundational Black Americans only, and that's what's got them upset.
Major facts, major facts. So I hope that definitely answered your question, brother. Where did you land your plane?
Yeah, I landed my plane. Y'all could drop it back down. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for coming in and speaking and sharing with us. Much appreciative. As again, for everybody who is coming in, we are taking one request at a time. So to make sure you get your point off, and you can address the co-host if you need to, whatnot. So just know we're taking your requests as they come in. So if you're sitting there, don't think we're ignoring you. We're not. Let's see. Next up, we have that man Fire. Fire, go ahead, brother. You can unmute yourself.
Oh man, I am so sorry, man. I'm in the call just listening to you guys. My bad.
Oh, it's all good. All right. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and drop you back down, brother. Hey man, I'm glad you're here listening. Appreciate that.
Be safe, man. Drive safe, family.
Yes, indeed. Please do, brother. Stay safe out there, and always keep your head on a swivel. We have FBA got us on the stage. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, how y'all doing? I like this title. I love this title because we definitely need to boycott. If we're not getting nothing, we don't need to do nothing. That's my motto. We need to stop this train. I'm tired of this train moving, and it needs to stop because it's been moving too many years without nothing. So if there ain't nothing on this damn train, it ain't gonna fucking stop. We gonna keep it moving and leave their ass in the fucking dust. Thank you.
And short and sweet and to the point, and definitely that. Hey, y'all getting the message, man. y'all are getting the message out here, man. It ain't just coming from the men; it's coming from the women. We serious about this, you dig? And again, I just hope that some of our elders would really truly consider embracing doing something different. You know what I'm saying? I know it might be scary, but at some point, we absolutely have to take a chance and do something new. We know what the Democrats are. We know what the Republicans are. They're two branches of white supremacy. So, and I would never, I live in Portland, Oregon. You best believe anytime. Okay, y'all remember when the riots went on here and we had all these agent provocateurs dressed in black, burning up everything? Well, that was how they were using the George Floyd protest as to way making black people the face of crime. So now that Black Lives Matter is absolutely delegitimized, they're still trying to say Black Lives Matter and Antifa up here. It's like there's nobody out there on the streets like that. The people who are doing anything out here right now are the Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, and they just let Joey see. This is how they stay on code. Patriot Prayer leader Joey Gibson, which is another white Hispanic. The Patriot Prayer are the offshoot of the Oath Keepers. So them, like basically, they're all Oath Keepers, and then you have Patriot Prayer, and then you also have the Proud Boys. But they're all one group, if y'all didn't know, because they all form here. That's why I didn't even know Enrique Tarrio lived in Florida, because like I literally see Enrique Tarrio all the damn time in city. So see it. I was like, oh, he literally lives in Florida. Who's paying for all of this? Who's paying for all of these white supremacists to be all up in my city, congregating, meeting with police, by the way, and doing all of these different things when they come out here and make their big, I'm safe over here because there's not many Negroes that's going to come to this part because we know where the Negroes are. So we're going to go over here and rah, rah, rah. They don't run up on no hood. They don't run up in the certified areas. That's not what they do. But, nonetheless, the media portrays them as there's some big bad wolf. But all the people who were terrorizing the stuff here was just Black Lives Matter. Well, we don't have no Black Lives Matter here. So nobody really knew that. We don't actually have a Black Lives Matter in my city. We have don't shoot. But, anytime Black people start protesting our injustices, then the powers that be, the system of the media apparatus of white supremacy immediately starts using the talking points Black Lives Matter, which clearly ain't the case. With that being said, we have Nicety on the stage. Sister?
Whoop, whoop. What's up, everybody?
We got my West Coast family up in here. What's going on,
That's
sister?
right.
Go ahead, sis. You got it.
Hey, I just wanted
Salute,
to speak
Nicey.
on
One love.
what's up. I just wanted to speak on it. The whole, not voting strategy. I do believe it's a great strategy. And another reason why, not only because they don't have any intangibles. I'm just noticing now, these Democrats, these liberals, anytime that they're speaking to, their voting base, meaning us, they have also written out Black men. And I don't know if anyone has noticed that. They'll talk about Black women, they'll talk about Black, but they never talk about the Black man. For some reason, I'm starting to see more and more that they've written Black men out of the script as well. So that's another reason why I will not be voting, blue, no matter who, or for any candidate, honestly, that doesn't have a Black agenda. But also these candidates that I'm hearing and I'm seeing with my own eyes that they're writing Black men out of the script completely, foundational Black American men. So I was wondering if anyone else caught on to that. And thank you again for letting me speak. Peace, family.
Absolutely, Nicety. I can most definitely answer to that because, again, both, of course, y'all know me and Black Alpha are husbands. I'm a father. And so nothing that ever pertains to, like, me and my wife is ever, like, we be watching TV and just, like, looking for any kind of commercial that represents our makeup of a Black man and a Black woman. We barely see that. And like right now, they're running a whole bunch of mixed couples on commercials. And I don't know if y'all caught one of Joe Biden's little press conferences where he actually mentioned, like, look at what you're seeing. You're seeing more interracial couples on TV. And look at all the commercials. You're seeing all the interracial couples. So, well, thanks, Joe. Thanks for bringing that to our attention. And so he's talking to us like it's a good thing. See, can't you see you niggas is being accepted? And we're over here like, nah, we're going in the opposite direction. So the one thing for Black men, you have what? Black women are the culture. They're on a full-fledged campaign of driving a wedge in between Black men and Black women. Because at the end of the day, Black men, Black women start getting together. What start happening? Babies start popping up. Then you have grandchildren popping up. You know what happens? We're just multiplying. I mean, think of, like, I don't know how old everybody else is, but I remember when R. Kelly record came out. Now y'all can say what the hell y'all want to about R. Kelly, and probably a lot of them kids that hate R. Kelly's guts right now. It's like y'all was all conceived on that nigga's music, just to keep it a buck. I mean, you feel what you like. Yeah, he did that shit, but y'all was absolutely brought up. Y'all was made on that man's music. If you were like in anywhere between 30 and 22, yeah, oh yeah. You are a R. Kelly baby. Stop. So with that being said, did you land your plane, sister?
Yes, sir. I landed my plane, and thanks again for letting me speak. And again, I just want to also just touch on that we don't see it for what it is, and I know that they're pushing interracial relationships on the commercials and TV shows and stuff like that. I'm talking about when I see politicians speak, they will separate us. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
not even speak on the Black foundational Black American man at all. It's more geared to the Black woman specifically, but they have written Black men out of the script, and that's what I'm noticing when they're pandering for our votes.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And it comes from multiple stages. When we have these different powers that the media cover. Because again, when I say media, remember, all of these things are tools of war of white supremacy. So going down from the media, that's just a branch of it. Going down to commercials and advertising, that's another thing. Because remember, they're always playing on visual aesthetics. So they want to make it's a full court press. And so, but if you're seeing it on TV in a commercial, trust me, that still came from the top. They're just covering all bases of the psyche. Because these people, they got control down to a science. So, they got their methods. Did you want to chime in on this real quick before I go to FBA Goddess?
Hey, yeah, that's a good point. I was always saying that before, is if you notice, when it comes to politics, Black women and Black men are the only group that they talk about separate and specifically. You'll never hear them mention white women. They'll just say white people. They'll never say Latino women. They'll just say Latinos. They'll never say Arabic. They'll just say, never say Arabic women. They'll say Arabic people. They only do that with us, and it's a clear divide. Nicey made a great point. They always do this when it comes to us. And when you look at white liberals and you start looking at the dominant society and the Democrats, a lot of the things that hinder Black society comes from them. All of that weirdo shit and all these weird, strange groups that they're always elevating, all the gender divides, that usually and typically comes from the Democratic Party. It's crazy because a lot of Black folks, they vote for the Democrats, but the Democrats literally have policies that are against half the things that Black folks grew up with. Abortion is one of them. A lot of these things you continuously see that the dominant society, they perpetrate and they produce that are hindrance to the Black community. Black folks still go and vote for them. You can look at a couple rainbow, coalitions. Those people get elevated above Black people. The dominant society and the Democrats are the ones who mainly push that. The swirlers, all the feminist movement, that is all coming from the Democratic Party. And it is complete contrast to foundational Black Americans. So you see it in all the commercials. You see when they talk about it after the election, they pull out the Stacey Abrams and the Kamala Harrises of the world. And all those women do is they perpetrate the fraud against us. So what we have to do again is focus on everything that is available and use every tool to our goddamn approach, every method. It doesn't matter how. If you coming from the aspect of being Black first, then you got to do what it takes. And if that means, like you said, Brother Zilla, sitting out every election for the rest of your life, then sit them out. We're not getting anything. You're voting for nothing. A guy told me a long time ago, I forget his name, man. If you listen to Homeboy, salute. He told me on Twitter, he said they've kept us in a perpetual cycle of nothing. Just running in place like we on a race treadmill going nowhere fast. And the only thing that can change that is us, everybody right here having these conversations and having this type of dialogue. That is what changes it. Identifying the way they separate our man and woman, identifying the way they separate the youth and the elders, identifying how they separate the east, the west, the north, the south. Basically, the Democrats try to separate us everywhere because once they put us on islands, they can control us. But once we all get collective and we in the same group, then we are the power. And this is why it's very, very important for us to stay on the same page, and then we can combat and counter anything they push against us. Yes, indeed.
Absolutely, my brother. FBA Goddess, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Y'all know I have to talk and say something every time I say something. But anyway, Y'all remember that Cheerio commercial just a couple of years ago with the white woman, the black man, and they had a mixed child, and they were in uproar in reference to that particular commercial. White people were so mad that they had that on the TV that they pulled it. But now, if you look at the programming, now it's acceptable. And I've been telling people for the longest, watch the agenda. Let me know if I'm lying. I told them to watch the commercials. Let me know how many commercials you see that there's two black people on there, a black woman and a black man. You're not going to see that at all. I don't care how you might going to see it if you recorded some years ago, but now the agenda is not black men, black women. It's us single, and also or the men in jail, and also as far as or our kids getting taken from us. Some stupid shit. They just want to throw on us, but they did never want to highlight what we actually are. And there's a lot of women that have degrees of which that are doing things with their actual husband. Now, of course, I'm going to mention this, which I hate to, because I ain't with his ass no more. But anyway, me and my husband had an intact home. Me and him went to school together. We got our associate's degree and our bachelor's degree. We walked together. We both did it together. So I don't want to hear them saying, that it cannot be done. The only reason why it cannot be done is if you let it. That is what their agenda is. That should not be our agenda. Our agenda should be to keep our families intact. Thank you.
I completely agree. I completely agree. Thank you once again. I absolutely agree with that. I mean, again, and as a father and a husband, when you see all of these things attacking what we grew up seeing. We grew up seeing a Cosby Show. We saw Family Matters. Right now, if you look at some of these ads, maybe they so blatant with it. Like I know y'all see because for those like we watch all this YouTube, so I know y'all seen the Amazon commercial where they're showing, or it's like that gift box commercial, and everybody in the commercial has a significant other. The black dude, of course, is gay, and then the black woman is a single mother. But you got the white couple over there. We're going to move in together. See, so they're promoting heterosexuality to white young people. But what are they promoting to young black people? Little Nas X. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It's an image thing. So they understand perception very much turns out being reality in a lot of cases, especially when you are operating in bizarro land like this place. Okay, we got to ride that Harley right by me. Okay. Can y'all hear all that? So anyway, y'all know when the truth started coming out, that's when the sirens started ringing and everything started making noise in the background. Looks like we have somebody coming up. But like I was saying, we have all of these different individuals out here that always come up here to basically get us to go off of our own square. And we always got to make sure and maintain that we are holding our position, because our position is empowerment. That's why I'm holding this space, because we need to figure out the best path of our empowerment. And I feel best for us is not to rely on the system of white supremacy. Because at the end of the day, to say, I'm going to go red or I'm going to go blue, you have already surrendered yourself to the system of white supremacy. So do you want to chime in real quick, Black Alpha, before we go to the next speaker?
Yeah, I'm going to chime in real fast on that because that's a good point. I'm going to catch it before it leaves me. That's the truth, family. Basically, we ought to approach it from the aspect of, if you are not a black grassroots candidate that has been vetted by foundational black Americans, just don't vote. Simple as that. It's pretty easy. Sometimes we make things complex. We make them tricky. It ain't that deep. If you deal with the politicians in America and they are not from us, that have been vetted by us, certified, stamped, signed, sealed, and delivered, then do not vote. That simple thing right there can get us where we want to go, but just going back and forth and back, that's going to get us exactly where we are now. So let's stay black grassroots and certified, and that'll get us everything that we want.
All right. Miss Black Native, you can unmute yourself. Go ahead, sister.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for holding this space. And I just wanted to piggyback off what the last sister stated. I've noticed that trend for about maybe 4 or 5 years now with the interracial couples. Never see two black couples together at one time. That either they'll have the black woman with the white man, the black man with the white woman, and now they have the AIDS commercials. And I'm looking at a commercial from the 80s. It was an AIDS commercial, and it were white people on these commercials. Let's jump to 2022. All you see are black men. And they're not even with other black men, they're with white men. Literally, like I just saw a commercial. I don't know if it's a Valtrex or whatever the name of this daggone drug is. It was a gay black guy and a white guy sitting on the couch, and then he throws a piece of paper, like a ball of paper at him, and he gets up and he's all feminine, and they kissing on each other, and I'm just like, ugh, I feel like vomiting. Right, I'm on the yeah. So yeah, that, and then let's speak about all of these so-called like Netflix, Hulu. Netflix has a I guess I don't know if it's like a playbook or whatever. Like any Netflix that's original, you're going to see this is the layout. You're going to see a biracial black person, and you're going to see a gay black man. It's coming, you know what I'm saying? Or it'll be a biracial person with a white person, and then the gay black man, or they'll have the lesbian black woman with a white woman. It's disgusting at this point, and it's so blatant at this point. And what you said is they're promoting young white people to be in relationships with each other because their birth rates are down. You know what I'm saying? They're dying off. So this is and then they're trying to show our kids, hey, you could call yourself they, it, we, her, Jim, Joan. I mean, it's like a ball of sexual confusion. And this is what they're trying to indoctrinate with our children. We have to definitely be on board with that. We have to definitely say, no, that's not, you see what you see? That's not how that's supposed to go. See what this is? This is commercial. This is programming. They trying to teach you that you don't know if you're a man or a woman. They trying to show you that you shouldn't be in a relationship with somebody that looks like you. There's something wrong with that. And you got to tell your kids this. And then they're also starting now in the schools. When I was in school, we had to get a permission slip to learn sex education. Now they're starting in kindergarten and daycare. My two mommies, my two daddies, they and us, they're starting young. And I guarantee you a lot of these daycare centers and these like private centers that have a lot of black children, that's when you're going to see this paraphernalia. That's when you're going to see these books. It's all a plan. Now, as far as um, the vote boycott, is that the best option? For me, it is. I didn't vote. I didn't vote for Biden or Trump, and that was the first time ever since I was able to vote that I said, "Fuck it." They're not getting my vote. Why am I going to vote for Biden? He signed the '95 crime bill. People still locked up to this day for weed and crack. The 3-strike rule. When his son over here got big crack rocks on scales, and we all see it. But I guess he's going to go into rehab. They legalized weed. Now the brothers that was out there hustling, they can't even get into the weed game the legal way now. They make it, see, this is the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want us to win. So, yeah, I'm not voting unless you got a black agenda specific. We don't want to hear about no minorities. I don't want to hear about people of color. I don't want to hear about LGBTQ. I don't want to hear about none of that stuff. None of it. You could kick rocks with that. If you're not talking about a hate crime bill for specifically black Americans, and if you're not talking about reparations, I'm not voting for you. What am I voting for? And I want to know what tricks do they have? Because they pretty much, their hand has been played. Like they came out with collard greens, they came out with the hot sauce in the bag, the Tims, and all this bullshit. What are you going? What now? Because see, now we're like, nah, we want tangibles. All of that other stuff that was cute, but we didn't get nothing out the deal. So what are they going to do to try to convince us to vote? We got them in a corner right now. We are controlling this right now, and they're scrambling to try to figure out how they're going to win our votes, because they know and they hear us and they know what we're talking about. They had, if they act like they don't know we want reparations, that's a lie, because they listen to everything that we do. So they know what we want. They're in these spaces. They're on Twitter. We've been voicing our opinion. We've been speaking out loud, and they know. So I want to know. They gave us what's her name, Ketanji Jackson, and they threw her in there as a Supreme Court justice, but she didn't even know if she was a woman. And she got a white husband. So yeah, what else are you gonna? What That's not helping us. We're sinking. Like what are you gonna do? You can't come and start asking us to dance. You can't come and ask us to come to a fridge fire. You can't do any of that anymore. We want tangibles. And I land my plane on that.
Gas. Absolute gas. Thank you so much. I wish there was fire emojis. I would have been giving you a bunch of fire emojis, sister. Uh, I cannot agree with you more. Brother, I know you got something to say. Go ahead, my brother.
Man, I was gonna say the same exact thing. That was a home run right there. I appreciate that commentary, so that's real. If you guys notice, everything that we talk about when you start talking about voting, it highlights a bunch of other issues that are going on in our community. So we may start off speaking about one issue, and you'll see how it trickles to everything else. All of a sudden, from the way they try to indoctrinate our children, the way they try to keep us brainwashed, the way they try to keep us on the plantation, the way they try to separate our men and women, the way they try to tell our men that they are women, the way they try to tell our women that they are men. Everything has something to do with how they try to keep foundational Black Americans in a headlock, in a stranglehold. And I love the fact that the sister just put it completely, straight up, framed it well. This is different. This is a different time. Those games do not work anymore. And that's what I always want to stress to the family. Understand, we can walk down the block and we're going to go get 15, 20 people who going to try to tell us how bad we got it and what we needs to do. And one day it'll be better. It is better. It is better. Anybody who's been around, you see the changes that have occurred. In the last 5 years, we made more progress than the last 50. And that ain't even up for debate. I'll refute anybody on a different level of that, because we have been staying on code. So we see everything. The fact that we could have these conversations and we can frame all of the excuses. And the sister was absolutely right. What they gonna do next? They don't have any other trick bags. They done pulled out every single con game that they've had. Now they're getting to the point where they're trying to use our words, and that ain't going to work. So at the end of the day, we have the ball in our court. We are the ones in full control. Never think that they're in control. We are in control. We got them against the ropes. And the fact that foundational Black Americans got this whole world in disarray, got this whole world up in arms, that shows you the power that we have. And like I said, and I'll say it a million times, if they piss off today, wait until tomorrow.
Major facts, major facts. And real quick, just doubling back on what she said as well. Man, I couldn't agree more. And I want y'all to understand what y'all are hearing, sister speak. Ain't nobody put her up here to say this is the voice of the people that you are literally hearing. So y'all can get off of this. We a small group thing. No, we are megaphones. We have platforms to be a megaphone for the people. Right here is a platform where you seeing the people come up and speak for themselves. We ain't speaking nothing different. See everybody being on one accord, and this ain't no group. It's a lineage. And with this lineage right here that you see, hey, sometimes people just tend to agree. Doesn't make you a group or an organization. It just means, hey, your idea is good. I'm with that. Simple as that. So as these people, hey, it's a hate group. Hey, you need to go ahead and address that CARICOM sitting off in our Black Caucus before you come hollering at us about anything, thief. So next, Monique. Let's say Moon Mama.
Hi there.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you all for allowing me to speak. And I am so grateful for this space. Oh my God, this is the most amazing conversation ever. Um, I was raised in a very Black political family. We voted in my house. The voting booth was in my house every, whatever it was. And so I grew up being conditioned to vote. And when the whole Trump thing, really not that, but when Barack Obama was elected, I was so like, I drank the Kool-Aid, you guys. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna be saved. I was like, this is like Jesus coming. And when I saw that white people started buying more guns because Barack Obama was president, I was like, oh, okay, I'm wrong. This is something else. And I the last time I voted was in 2017, and I voted Republican. And I haven't voted again since then. I voted Republican because I really wanted him to destroy the system. That was my thing. This man is crazy enough to destroy the system, and I support that. Because my real concern is that the system is so locked against us. But I also understand that we are the power center in this country. This country is absolutely nothing without us. We built it with our blood and bones. We created every industry in this country. If you like textiles, like cotton and tobacco, all of the labor that we gave for 250 years created wealth and unbelievable systems that we did that. And I feel like it's really important for us to truly understand the nature of our contribution and where it comes from and who we are. In a way, like it's almost like we need to really understand that we're gods. And I always ask, why is it that they're so deliberate against us? What is it about us that would have them be so hell bent to make sure that we get nothing? There's a reason for that. I don't know that I have the answer, but just the question keeps me curious enough about who we really are and what we're really up to and what we really can do if we and when we, not if, when we mobilize our energy and understand the nature of who we are spiritually, economically. Economically, we run this country. The economy of Black people, what we do, this country would collapse without our dollars. And I'm just wanting to really expound upon that, how important it is for us to know just how powerful we are, and that it's something that we have to really begin to capitalize on and believe it. And I know for myself, because of the media, what it is now, what it's always been, it took me a really long time to see our value, to understand just the power. Like, I had to go study. Oh, we created all of it. We did that. We did this. Like, I had to go study and learn so that I could really take in the value that we are. And I didn't know it. I didn't see it. I didn't really understand it. So I was gullible. I was naive. But now that I get it, I'm like, I'm not doing shit. If you want me, if you want my vote, if you want me to bring the people then there has to be something else. But to my last point is, I'm so curious what you guys, but do you think that we could crack the code of the system? The system is built, everything about it is white supremacy. Everything in the system is built on extracting our energy. Every single thing. So how can we beat that? How can we turn that around in our favor is the question that I have. And also, I'm just grateful. So thank you for allowing me to speak. And I'm landing my plane. I'm going to turn off my mic.
All right, thank you, sister. I appreciate that. Real quick to answer your question before I turn it over to my brother here. One thing that you will always see me do, I may not, I guess, look at the certified's actions. You understand what I'm saying? So look at the certified's actions versus looking at what may be said. Because again, cracking the code, as for me, why am I living if that ain't what my days are about? So again, it was like, so I to kind of try to answer that best way I can. Um, as a person like myself, it's always going to be trying to get us from up under this oppressive system, regardless of, you know, the current circumstance. So that will always be my position, regardless of if I'm verbal about it or not, or, you know, that's one thing we have gotten so used to. That's why you always see everybody always ask, like, well, what are we going to do? Some of these things, you know, you got to understand you're playing chess, not checkers. So not everything would be verbalized, but say be observant. Be as observant, if not more observant of them and yourself and where you are in the world. And right now, it already seems that you have adopted your greatness. So you're already off to the best start right there. Never give that up. Never give that up. Don't you give that power to no one. That is you. You have the right to be great and black and beautiful. Don't you give that up for no one. So go ahead, Alpha.
Yeah, I got you, family. Hey, I gotta commend what the sister just laid out a minute ago, because it's something that I touch on all the time on my YouTube channel. Anybody who's familiar with my Black Alpha Cast, I always say in every single episode, I represent all the brothers, the sisters, the kings, the queens, the goddess, and the gods. Every last one of them. That's what we are. In terms of breaking the code, we already have. How do you know we've already broke the code? Because we still here. We still here. They talk about the rose that grew from concrete, man. We the whole rose garden. You feel me? Foundational Black Americans, as Dr. Claude Anderson has always said, are exceptional people without a shadow of a doubt. That's why when I speak, I don't sit here and get all down. I don't put my head to the ground. I put my head to the sky when I talk about foundational Black Americans. I don't give a damn what anybody's putting forth towards us. I'm always representing excellence. I'm always centering it around our achievements and everything that we accomplish. We are untouchable, in my opinion. You feel me? I feel like foundational Black Americans, we are the one group that cannot be compared to anybody. Foundational Black Americans are the one group that stands alone. It don't matter where it is, but the best part about it is we stand alone, but we stand together. It's one thing to stand alone and you just by yourself as an individual. We stand alone, but we got everybody with us, the whole team, the whole cavalry. That's the best part about it. We don't have that backstabbing culture that those other, communities have. And trust me, the dominant society has that same backstabbing culture, because they only get on code when it comes to anti-Black racism. But outside of anti-Black racism, they hate each other. Go to Europe if you do not believe me. But when it comes to us, we rock with each other, win, lose, or draw. We bang with the same ones we came with. I got a saying, and my mother says this all the time, and I said it in a space the other day with Marcel, but I'm going to say it again for those who weren't there. When I leave my house, I got one brother, okay? When I leave my house, my mama tells me, do not come home without your brother, all right? The person you left with, your ass better come home with. That is what we all do, and I'm sure a lot of y'all done heard that too. Come home with your brother, your sister, whoever you walk out. If you walk out with your cousin, you better come back with your cousin. You better watch out for your little brother, your little sister. However it is, these are the things that if you go around these other communities, they don't talk like that. They don't have that same lingo. They don't have that same style. We all know that we different. We all know we walk different, talk different. Why do you think everybody act like us? Everybody revolves around us. We don't revolve around them. They out there trying to act like FBAs. You got small little villages on the other side of the earth we'll never go to. And they over there trying to tilt their hat to the side, trying to put on Timberlands, trying to use our lingo. You got folks in Taiwan acting like they from Atlanta. You got folks in Nigeria acting like they from Chicago. The world want to be just like us. And that ain't by no accident. That ain't no coincidence. That's because we radiate a real energy that can only be found here. So in terms of cracking the code, man, we've already cracked the code. And now the next step is to shatter that motherfucker into 100 pieces. And unfortunately for them, we're doing that right now. And fortunately for us, B1 is in the building and we're not going anywhere. So I want everybody to feel that, walk with it everywhere you go. When you go out in these streets, in public, at the job, it doesn't matter who you with, no matter where you are. Bring foundational Black American energy with you and you'll see everything else will work itself out.
Super duper facts. And as y'all already can tell, you are in a certified, passionate Black space. You got two hosts up here who absolutely love Black folks. This is I don't think we can hide that.
It's pretty clear, ain't it, Zilla? We radiating that real strong today, ain't we?
Man, I wear it on my sleeve like a badge, man. You know what I'm saying? And now we have some of the new Black Media subscribers in the house. We got one of my subscribers up here, Capricornus. Hey, sister, you can go ahead and unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Okay, hello.
Yes, indeed, you got it, sister.
Yeah, I was kind of like listening to you guys, but then I was thinking about like, what about the medical field? Like, I was just listening to a video where a lot of women go into the doctors, and then they tell the doctors what goes wrong or whatever, but they don't ever listen to it. So what is a good solution for that as well too? Because I know this is a different topic, but it's kind of like within the same as well. Because we voted some of these people in as like the high officials to have those doctors come in and do these things as well.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you actually brought that up because as a man, that is completely out of my wheelhouse. So I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. One suggestion that I would have is spaces like this, but a Black woman space addressing Black women health issues, really. But and then with that, you have all the support of the grassroots because I mean, hell, half of us are women, if not more. So we see what they do, and they got all of these trying to do all these weird ass transplants, using y'all's parts. So yeah, there is definitely, and I would say it's probably urgent to address. So yeah, I would say if you wanted to start putting that out there and just see if somebody, you can gather people because that is a pertinent conversation. And if you need any help with that or support with that, just let me know.
Yeah, because what made me think of that is because I just came from the doctor today,
Mm-hmm.
and then I had watched something stating, like I said, about them not listening to us, and I was like, that's a very good thing because when I went to the doctors a few months back, they weren't listening to anything I said, so I got up and I walked out.
Good.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that.
Because for me, I have congenital heart failure, so I have to be my own advocate.
Yes. Yes. I have a cousin with this very same situation. So yeah, you have to absolutely advocate for yourself. And considering what your condition is, my cousin had actually kind of the same similar. She ended up switching doctors. And then once she switched doctor, that was more or less the change that she needed.
Yeah.
Because once she got with a different doctor, they really took her condition seriously. Because when y'all are in that condition, because y'all can still look healthy, they just treat Black women with that condition like as you ain't nothing wrong with your heart.
Exactly.
So yeah, I totally understand.
Because I don't look my age. I don't look like I'm in my 30s at all. And people just look like, oh, you look healthy and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I got real shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
I got real shit going on. So I can't even really be. And then people in my family don't understand it because I'm literally the only one that has it.
Right.
So it's just like,
Totally
really?
understand.
I'm like, really? So who do I talk to?
Well, you know what? I got your information. Matter of fact, I'm gonna link you up with my cousin because you know you already got you. So we'll talk offline.
Okay,
So
that's answered. That's
I got
answered.
I got you. I got you.
Okay.
I definitely got you. Don't worry about
Okay.
it. All right, I'll let you later. Thank you for speaking.
You're welcome.
All right, peace, Capricornus. All right, and we have let's see who we get. We go back to this queue here. Bear with me. Bear with me. All right, we got Zene J. Got Zene J in the house. Another subscriber. How are you doing, my sister?
Peace to everybody
How are
in the
you?
house. Um, First of all, I want just this: is the vote boycott the best option? Hell yes. There's no other option for us at this point in time. Period. Um, I was emotional, and I voted for Barack Obama the first time. I cried, because of my ancestors, and I was crying for them because I had been told a story about the having to pick the black, how many was in the jar and all of that stuff. So I was crying for them emotionally. But me and my mother would just when Barack Obama first addressed the House, and there was a white man on the floor, and he called him a lie in front of the nation. Me and my mother said to each other, they will never respect him after this. He will never get the respect of the people. And he never did get respect. I've been voting since I was 18 years old. I'm 58 years old now. I finally figured it out. They're not going to do shit for us. They don't care for us. They never have. Either party, don't matter, Republican, Democrat, either one. The best one they had was uh, Perot from Texas. He was about the best one and the most honest one that ever ran as a candidate because he had so much money, he didn't give a damn. But my point that I'm trying to make it, and to Sister Capricornius, I have multiple sclerosis. I've had it for 21 years. I've had to advocate for myself every day. I've changed so many doctors. I don't give a damn. I talk shit to them. I tell them, if you don't know, I don't need to be here with you. I'll find another doctor. I don't care because my health is my health. I have to advocate for me because if I don't advocate for me, you can rest assured those white doctors, which I've only had one black doctor and she was stupid too. But anyway, I fired her ass last year because I think she could have done more for my mother, but that's neither here nor there. I'm getting back to the subject of what I said about boycotting. Yes, we need to boycott, and we need to boycott as long as we feel like it. No other group of people have to deal with the things that we have to deal with in America or have ever had to deal with here in America. And I'm glad to be in my space with my people because I sometimes stray over to other people's spaces and I feel like they say they with us, but they really ain't with us. And I say, I ain't welcome over here. So when I see Beatzilla and Black Alpha and people that I know, Nikki and people like that, I say I'm at home. I'm where I'm supposed to be with my people because you got to be careful in these spaces where you lend your energy because a lot of folks don't want you there. So I'm just glad to be with my family. I always feel at home with Beatzilla. He and my mother both were. My mother's a Gemini. He's a Gemini. So I just have a real kindred spirit with Geminis because I'm an Aquarius. So we kind of big thought thinkers. But anyway, I'm gonna say I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna keep my vote until they give us tangibles. Until they give us tangibles, and if they don't give us tangibles, you're not gonna get my vote from henceforth out until I'm. I don't even know. I don't even know when. I'm just gonna tell you, the ancestors are gonna have to crack the clouds. That'll be the only time I get a vote for me again. I will not be voting in this election coming up or any elections in the future, period. And I will land my plane on that, and peace, fam.
Thank you so much, my sister. Always, always a pleasure. And thank you for always shooting me information. I always appreciate that. Good looking out. One of the supporters of New Black Media. And as y'all can see, it ain't just all 20-year-olds. Man, this is y'all got to look at what we talking about here. These people are worried because look at the age range our agenda is covering. Can't mess with that. Before I go on, brother, I know you want to chime in on that. Go ahead.
First off, I gotta say much respect because you are at home. We're all at home. We're all at home when we're amongst our people. That's the main thing that's important. We can get surrounded by a bunch of shills all day long. We can get surrounded by a bunch of ops all day long. But at the end of the day, we all we got. We don't say terms like we all we got just for fun. We don't say brother and sister just because. We say these things because we mean it. And that's the real fact. So everybody right here in this space, I always follow any of y'all. If I catch you in a space I go into, I'm going to be honest. If I don't recognize the space and I don't see them familiar faces, I ain't going in it. I'm not going in it. I'm not going to be in no tether space, no Democratic Shield space, none of that. Only space I ever pulled into that wasn't FBA was Luke, and I roasted him. And then that was it. And I went out and then I jumped right back into an FBA space. That's how you got to do it. So yeah, we all in it. We all riding as one team. The unity, the commonality is real strong. Anybody can say whatever they want to say about us. They can hate, they can congratulate, they can do the goddamn two-step. But at the end of the day, foundational Black Americans, we run the yard. We run the yard. And when we get together, there's strength in numbers. And I want to see everybody out there in Washington, D.C. at that FBA rally. Like I said, I'm going to be there. And I want to see all you guys there so we can translate real truth to power. We can take what we discuss right here and we can go politic. And we can do it our way, not the way they want us to do it, because they want us to do it in a way that's not good for us. And that's the problem. We've been handed a bunch of agendas that are not our own. They tell us who our enemies are. They tell us who our friends are. They tell us who we should vote for. And a lot of Black folks fell for that. And to the Obama thing, let me say this, because I see a lot of people who say that they voted for Barack Obama and, they're upset about it. Let me say this. That was a play. That was a play. And unfortunately, back then, anybody who remembers, it wasn't the community that we have right now. People were not on code. Back then, hell, if you brought up racism, a lot of Black folks would get mad at you. They had the dominant society, pushing every single thing. Barack Obama, Eric Holder. It was a completely different time now. So you got to rejoice in the times being different. The times are completely different. So it ain't about those who voted for Barack Obama. The fact is that will you vote for a motherfucker like him again? Well, no, then we good then. We rocking. That's why Kamala Harris fell. That's why Ketanji Brown Jackson doesn't work. We're not going for that hustle 2 times. So anybody who fell for it, you got back up, you dust it off, and now you get with it. We're on code in a completely different manner. So I'm not even trying to compare back then to now. Anybody who's old enough to remember then and today, it is a completely different world. This is the world that we all said, well, what happens if we get on code? What happens if FBA lines up? Well, this is what it is. We don't have to think no more. We don't have to watch no documentaries. We ain't got to go back in time. All them civil rights fucking movies we used to watch, we ain't got to worry about that. We living in our own era right here today. And this era is too special to be worrying about yesterday. Let's get it right now. Let's move forward. Let's inspire each other. And if we do all of that, everything will come into play. I promise you. So that's why when I talk about us getting that bag, when I talk about us getting reparations, I'm not asking, I'm not begging, I'm not saying I think we should, could, might. Fuck no. We gonna get it and they're gonna cut the check, and that's just it. And we're going to keep it pushing. That's not where we're going to stop either. That is not where we're going to stop. If they think we just going to get that and be done, no. The game has changed. Everything right now is in full swing and full effect. This is the normal, and everyone's going to have to accept it, whether they like it or not. And we're giving them the ultimatum. get down with us right now, because you better get on board, or the times are going to change and it's going to go right around you. So don't worry about the Barack Obamas of the world. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about any of that. Let's focus on the future. Let's stay laser focused on the future. And that way we can get everything we want. And while we're here, let me say this. I want everybody in this room to subscribe to my brother Beatzilla. Make sure you do that. Go subscribe to my brother Beatzilla right now. Keep the app up and swing over to YouTube. Subscribe to his channel right now. My brother Afro Elite, I see him in here. I see FBA Goddess. Subscribe to her channel. Subscribe to me as well, Black Alpha Network. This is how we keep doing it. We mobilize by building with each other and dealing with each other. We got a new black media, so we don't have to deal with the Roland Martins of the world, the Van Jones of the world. Van Jones probably somewhere crying right now with a box of Kleenexes and Becky and Karen. We ain't got to worry about none of them. We got our own media where we push our own narrative, and that's why things are changing. Do not understand that if we came with it and we focused on our own things the way they want us to, we'd be screwed. But the fact that we focus on what we choose to, that's why we're excelling. So let's keep that momentum going and let's keep it pushing.
Absolutely. Black first, black first, black first. And that's how it goes down in the certified spaces. So with that being said, man, looks like we got a brother right here. Look like a family man over here. So go ahead, unmute yourself, brother Reggie.
What's going on, brother? I like the conversation y'all got going on today, man. I was thinking about voting and boycotting the votes. Yeah, it's a good idea because why keep voting and you're not getting anything? You have to think about it. How does that make us look when we vote for a certain party and we never get anything? That's not a good look. So yeah, I think we should. I think we're overdue that we let these people know that we are serious about our lives here in America. I was talking about Barack Obama. I voted for Obama too, even though I knew that I just wanted to see a change. Even though I knew that Obama was not going to be that black guy, the blankety black type guy. I knew it because I went to school with guys like Barack Obama, and they're not the blankety black type guys. They're black to a certain point. So I just knew Obama wasn't going to do anything. But I would rather see a black guy do it than a white guy. I got tired of monopoly. But I knew that Obama was not going to do anything for us. And really, it's going to take us, man, because we just have to reject all of these people that they place before us. Like I heard y'all talking about the Ketanji and then Kamala Harris. See, all these people that they keep presenting to us and say, oh, look, this is a black. No, we don't even know who these people are. These are people that y'all keep saying the reason they keep doing it is because we don't control the media. And I'm thankful for the outlets that we have where we can speak, the way that about the things that really concerns us. Because, hey, man, people have to realize is that these people do not love us. There's no love in their heart. There's no one day that they're going to change. That is not going to happen. If you expect that, expect for you our lives to remain the same. We have to face facts is that, hey, man, amongst all the people upon this planet, it seems as if black Americans are the most hated. Of all the people upon this planet, we have nowhere to go. Like I said, if it don't work here in America, where can you go? You can't go to Africa. You can't go to Europe. America is it, and we have to make it work here, man. And I'm glad, man, the guys are, because, for a while, I was thinking about going back to Africa movement back in the 70s. But when I thought about it, I said, man, why would I run? Because, if I can't take care of the problems here, how am I going to take care of the problem that exists when one will exist if I go to Africa? So we have to deal with this problem here in America. We have to deal with it. We have to not be afraid of these people, man, because for too many years we've been afraid of the what ifs. But what if, but still you're thinking about something that just never happened. You're overplaying yourself, you're overplaying your hand. And I think that y'all, man, Y'all youngsters, I love y'all because y'all moving in a good direction. Y'all showing y'all got some keisters. Y'all not backing down from these folks, and y'all gonna keep going forward, man. And don't let nobody, some older black person, anybody, whether it's an old black person or a young black person, speak against y'all. If they're not in line with what you're talking about, hey man, kick them to the curb. So I'm not gonna take up the time, man, because I really mean y'all on fire. And I don't know if I thought I probably did subscribe, but if I didn't, I will. And hey man, I'm gonna be keeping watching, and I'm going to keep listening. And thank the Most High for you brothers. And that on I land my plane.
Thank you so much, my brother. Man, you did nothing but spit straight flaming meteors right now. Go ahead, brother Alpha, but you got it because I can't even follow that up with that, brother.
Hey man, I might be at a loss of words, and anybody knows me knows that's a hell of a thing. Salute to you, brother Reggie, all the way, family. I appreciate you 100%. I appreciate everybody. This is what it is, man. Like you said, Zilla, there ain't no age group, there ain't no jurisdiction, there's no location on this realness. This FBA, family tree goes everywhere. It's a thought process, it's a lineage, it's a heritage. You can't run around here, talking that nonsense and think that you down. This really is on the inside and what we created. Like the brother just said, in a perfect manner. We are home. We're not running nowhere. We're not going to another country. We're not boarding no flights. We are right here, and we are the most hated. And since we the most hated, that means we got to love each other and lean on each other even more. There's a lot of love. Everybody can feel it. I tell that to people is every time I get the opportunity, man, we got so much love, and it comes from black folks right here in these 50 states that we built, right here in this country that we built, and right here in this whole culture that everybody wants to be. So I salute you, brother. I salute everybody out there who's on that same time, who's riding that same wave. Let's just keep making this foundational Black American thing even stronger, because if they mad now, they'll be mad tomorrow. But as soon as we stepped in the building, understand that we changed the game. The African American does not exist. Okay, the African American, some tether from Nigeria who just got here yesterday at 2:00 with some jollof. All right, the foundational Black American has been here since day one, before anybody else got here, and we're gonna be the last one standing. So everybody got to know this: respect goes up, and we are at the very top. So I salute the whole family on that one.
And real quick, if any of y'all, because you know how Twitter be doing, and some Twitter got this real weird thing. So like my brother Afro Elite's last space, do y'all know I literally had to go on my laptop and listen to it because they've been doing stuff like when we're all together, they kind of, one of us is gonna have some technical issues. So just be mindful if you don't see all of us on stage. Chances are Twitter kind of doing their thing. So just to put
Hey,
that
they be
word.
taking turns. They be taking turns talking about spaces, don't they?
Don't say God. So just
me,
be
you,
mindful.
Apple.
Hey, when the truth come out, see, that's what they don't like. All of this positive Black shit. They hate it. They hate this. And here's the point. Hey, man, these are the voices that they don't want out there. Hey, man, love yourself. You look in that mirror, man, tell yourself that you better than all these bastards out here. Don't you let these people tell you that you up under them. Hell no. You owe it to your ancestors not to. I mean, I'm telling you, and I mean the ancestors whose blood is in this soil, man. You owe it to them to stand up on what they built. And just look at what you hail from. Slavery. See, we think slavery, oh man, they're up here and we're down there. True indeed, but look at what them people's hands actually created. Ain't nobody on the planet messing with us, period. Now give us our money and let us do what it do. You understand what the problem is now? See, for people who could be slaves building an entire country, now we're saying give us what we're due with an entire country built. Oh, people are worried. People are worried because you got a whole bunch of intelligent people in here that are just needing a check. And the world changes in a minute. Brother Joe, you could go ahead and unmute yourself, brother. Go ahead.
Peace to the family. Y'all can hear me? Okay. Okay, I guess so. Hey, so what attracted me to this space is I really don't speak on spaces, but what attracted me was uh, vote boycott, and I've never voted a day in my life. 39 years old. I've never been attracted to voting. I never saw the sense in voting. I've been enlightened since I was 18. So, I went on my path of enlightenment. That journey started when I was 18 years old. So I was kind of already hip to things. So when I used to be around my peers, family members, they would look at me crazy because they'd be like, why you don't vote? I said, man, because don't nothing come from it. We're not getting nothing. And I would tell them, hey, it's been since 1965 that, the Voting Rights Act's been in place for us and nothing has happened. Why don't we just stop voting altogether and stop participating into their political games, because it's still mind control. If I can get shot in the street and on, broad TV, everybody can see it on TV, me getting murdered in the street. Do you really think my vote matters? Like the police walk away and continue to live on to to see better days, right? But my family is mourning and grieving, and y'all telling me to go to the polls to vote for better policies, the same policies that undermine, indoctrinate, and put us in corners where we can't get out of. So voting never made sense to me because of this system. Because at the end of the day, we understand that white supremacy is a bird with two wings, the left and the right wing. So it's the same bird. So I already understood that. I already understood that concept. I didn't fall for the Barack Obama gimmick because I was telling my people then, I was like, man, that dude ain't finna do nothing but sell us out. Everybody talking about, man, it's a black face and this, that, and the third. I'm like, we can't get caught up on that symbolism, man. Black faces in high places that don't do nothing. And that's something that they have been pimping to us for years. And some of the stuff that has been pimped to us through our own family and friends, well, we got this and we got that, but what's tangible about it? Has it changed anything? Have we gotten constructive results from it? So man, this right here is a very, very positive space. I would suggest that we continue these spaces just like this to get the momentum going, because this space should have more people in it. I'm telling you. But this right here, I don't even speak on spaces. I don't even try to get on because I ain't no Twitter gangster or none of that. I'm one of those real life individuals that will pull up on you in real life because you don't put your face out there and I know it, right? But anyway, I'm not, I ain't no gangster. I'm just I'm just keeping it real, man. I appreciate everybody that's doing their part. Because this is a collective effort. This ain't just no one person thing. The code is the leader, and being on code destroys the code of white supremacy. And I land my plane there. Peace.
Good grief, brother.
They spit fire tonight, family.
Golly.
Damn.
Oh, damn. Thank you, brother JoJo. Man, jeez, I hope y'all got that. I mean, that brother laid it out absolutely brilliant. And again, for all you Democratic shills that are listening, are you hearing the people speaking to you? It's not us pushing a narrative. We just facilitating a table that they can talk to you, and you are hearing the people tell you what they want. Man, go ahead, brother.
Every single day, we prove time and time again why foundational Black Americans are the king of the hill, are the queens of the hill, and why we run the yard every single day. This is why they avoid our spaces. This is why they avoid us anywhere. The only time they can ever operate is in a shield-controlled environment. So when you put a bunch of this FBA energy, it's super. I'm telling everybody, FBA energy is strong. FBA energy is strong. It's got the damn president of the Ukraine over there talking about Martin Luther King quotes. trying to get us involved. Everybody wants to come to us when they need help. Everybody does that. All these tethers, they eat off our plate. The Democratic Party needs us. I mean, if you look at it, what's the one common denominator in everything? The one common denominator is everybody comes to us. The Democratic Party goes around and they spend millions and billions of dollars just trying to get us to vote. Then the tethers come over here and try to get in on every piece of legislation that we pass. And then everybody from all these other countries want us to support their wars. All these little groups that have these little rallies and marches every weekend, they always want foundational Black Americans to come be allies because they know we're the strength. So if you ever have any doubt about who we are, just look at it. We are the code. We represent it to the fullest, to the maximum. And that's the best part about it. And that's why today, a lot of brothers and sisters have been spitting fire. But that is a typical and that is a usual when you deal with foundational Black Americans.
Absolutely facts. Absolutely facts. And we've been going for about 3 hours and 40 minutes now. So we're gonna be looking to kind of wrap this up here soon. But if there is anybody else who would like to chime in on this topic before we get out of here, you could definitely do so at this moment. I don't know if you got a chance to get you some of this, brother Afro Elite. If I don't know if you had a space to where you could speak. But I know you would want to come get some of this. So if you get to space, brother, yeah, I'm gonna try to hold out for you. Because I know you want some of this. But man, just again, thank y'all for even just coming into the space and sharing the space. I've seen all you guys tweeting this out. And thank you for everybody who has came up and spoke. I hope that well, and I guess now, obviously, we probably will have to do this again. Okay, I got you, brother. So, Afro is currently he's abducted right now, but they got him tied down right now. So, but he sends his regards, family. But yeah, obviously, it looks like we're gonna have to hit this topic again. And I guess as well as it should, because they're literally campaigning against what we're saying. And what they're trying to do is use the whole voter suppression line. So, thank you, JoJo, because truth be told, you could say we're putting out information all day long, but what you gonna do when the people speak? I mean, the people speaking. What can you say? We have no battery and nobody back. This is what they feel, and they are telling you what they honestly. So, with that being said, brother Robbie, let them know what you're thinking, brother.
I just had a comment, man. I'm just listening, and I'll just say that a spirit of unity is contagious. And for me, after having a long week, I feel like this is healing. A lot of times before these spaces were even available, I listened to certain, YouTube influencers or people in the community. Every now and then, we're just kind of programmed to go to the church. But even then, you know what I'm saying? I'd catch a sermon or two. It'll make me feel good, but it wouldn't necessarily give me answers because, they say you can be so spiritually minded, but no earthly good. So they say if you're the smartest person in your circle, you need a new circle. Well, I'm glad I got a new circle because I got nothing to say. I mean, everybody's knocking everything out the park. And the only thing I could say as a side note, that's even me preaching to myself, we just need to acquire the skills of nation building. Because like when the sister was talking about the medical field, it's so true. I mean, it's great that we'll get reparations. It's great that we help build America. But if I'm really honest, the way I'm looking at it, America's getting the same karma of what they've done all around the world. Every civilization and empire falls. They've gone and destabilized other countries' governments. I feel like we're under a psyop. All this division that's happening right now, where white people fighting each other and all this domestic terrorism, as they weaken, we need to gain in strength, and we need to get in the medical field. We need to get back into construction. All the stuff that we thought was not cute when they took away all the trade skills and all that. We need to encourage young people to get into them skills because it's not about a dollar amount. The same love, the same sense of unity. I would want somebody to be able to help me when I'm an old man with my plumbing. I ain't going to buddy hustle you, but it's, what I'm saying? We really need to start taking care of each other. And that's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to land my plane there.
Oh, hold on, brother. Now, you just came up here and said you didn't have nothing to say, and then I ain't got nothing to say, and then just proceed to start spitting fire.
Man, it's just more like a
Before
testimony, man. It's a salute to you guys and a salute to everybody here, bro. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, when I'm not on these spaces, sometimes you're around people just speaking nonsense. To be honest, like I say, you can't be the smartest person in your circle.
I could dig it, my brother. I completely appreciate it, man. And again, uh, you might thought that you didn't, but you actually did drop some heat there, my brother, and I appreciate it. You always welcome here. Like I said, man, we make no mistake about us. We do not hide that we love black folk. So I guess you can see it.
All right, peace.
So yes, sir, brother. Man, thank you for chiming in, man, and most definitely come back and speak again, brother. Looks like we have look like we got the brother Hard Black Truth in here. It's one of our B1 FBA brothers, man, that he tried to warn the Nigerian idiot about being so disrespectful, but sometimes people got to learn the hard way. But you tried, brother. The Hard Black Truth in the house. Go ahead, brother. You can unmute yourself.
Hey, black first to the family, black first to the family, man. I had to step away for a minute. I'm actually hosting a little barbecue with my wife. It's a carnival theme. Guys, my wife is FBA. She had the idea of the whole carnival. It wasn't me. But I wanted to share with you guys, man, because we talking about the vote boycott. And I did shout out my man with the damn, I can't believe the name escaped me now. But y'all know who I'm talking about.
Three minutes of black
That's
empowerment.
right. That's right. That's right. I got my little pamphlets, and it's interesting because I'm having a little conversation here and there, and it's kind of weird for me because it's like I'm handing folks material that's more for them, than than it is for me. But I'm handing it off anyway, and we chopping it up about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm literally in my car trying to catch a little cool down, but I'm about to get back out there. But nah, for real, those little things, every little thing helps getting the message out. You know what I'm saying? I'm loving it because it seemed like for so long that there was a groundswell of black folks. B1 media, you know what I'm saying? New black media, intelligent black society. Intelligent black society, this is all I've heard when I've been tuned into this space, man. This is where it's at. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys for that, for real, for real. But yeah, we've been getting a message across, and again, every little bit helps. I just wanted to share that with the team, man.
Man, I appreciate it. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, nah, hey, appreciate you, family. Hey, all the way, Hard Black Truth. One love, family. I appreciate that 110%.
Major facts, man. So again, like, man, like my brother said earlier, y'all are fooling with our spaces, man. This do turn into a block party, y'all, because this is how we get down. This is real certified energy. I'm pretty sure y'all can feel the vibration from me and this brother through your device right now to say there's something in your spirit to say these niggas ain't fake. I know something got to be in your heart to say, yeah, them dudes right there. Yeah, okay. So yeah, this, I know y'all don't hear from me as much as everybody else. But I guess we're gonna have to do a little bit more of these Monday sessions here because obviously it's having an impact. I would possibly believe our numbers are probably being suppressed right now because I could look on two different accounts and all the numbers aren't looking the same. So however many people are in here right now, thank you for tuning into this space. And most definitely all of the participants of this space. I hope that this has been as constructive and productive for you as it has been for me. And of course, shout out to Brother Wartox and my sister D Tubman for setting that up. Much appreciative. Shout out to all of the voices of the new black media. My brother Black Alpha Network. my brother Afro Elite, Kid Gravity, Torian Reigns, the Big Three, you know, all of the lovely sisters and women voices of New Black Media, Queen Amadai Shakur, Lisa Cabrera, Six the Goddess, True Royal, the list goes on and on and on. I could go on forever. And again, this is the beauty of having a New Black Media. There will be a platform that resonates with different people, and certain platforms will not. But that's the beauty of the code. We are here about the business of Black empowerment. And we are moving forward in that power because it's our time, and we absolutely will only have ourselves to blame if we do not seize the moment. Any closing words you want to give, brother? Well, I know you do. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, I always got something to say. Yeah. Hey, salute to everybody, Certified Black Society. Special shout out to my brother Beatzilla, as always. And I'm thinking about Mondays at 3 p.m., brother. We're going to have to set this off every time because we knocking them out the park.
For real.
Knocking them all the way. You feel me? I appreciate everybody who come through, everybody who listened, everybody who spoke. And next time when we have another one, I want even more callers because I like my favorite part is seeing requests to speak. Like when that pops up, that's my favorite thing. We could sit here and speak all day long, but I love hearing from everybody. I love hearing from the people. That's what it is. That's the thing that gets it moving because I might hear something, you guys might hear something, a great idea, something you can build on, something you can add, something you can take away from it. And that's what it all is. You got to be able to share things with each other and you got to be able to communicate. Once you do that, you're good. Hard Black Truth, I think it was Hard Black Truth. He made a statement about, you know, people being in the same room and having a bunch of different smart intellectual people around you. Yes. And we got them all. We got them all. And that's what I want the family to really hone in on is that we got all the soldiers. We got all the troops. We got everybody who needs to be here. We rock with who wants to be here. That shit where we used to try to get coons to come on in. And y'all remember back in the day, they used to try to tell tethers, man, y'all black. You know, try to tell Puerto Ricans and Mexicans, y'all know y'all black, man. Listen, they don't want to be black. Fuck them. Hands down. It's all about who wants to be here, who wants to represent, and who's down for the team. We don't need no new recruits. We got everybody we need. And if you see it right here in these spaces right here, you see it in a couple other spaces and all that petty stuff that some of them other people be on. We don't do that. We know we really inspire and we really bring it. So I want everybody to subscribe to my brother Beatzilla. And I want you to follow my brother Beatzilla right here on Twitter and subscribe to his YouTube channel because you get the same energy. I want you guys to do the same thing for my brother Afro Elite. I want you guys to follow them and subscribe to them. And I want you guys to do the same thing for me. I'm dropping something tomorrow, matter of fact, and it's probably going to be a recap of this right here. And we're going to bang on the, you know, the Democratic shields and we're going to break them because that has to be the place. So to sum it all up to the topic, we got to continue to break these Democratic shields first. Break the Democratic Party, break anybody who does not have a black agenda and anybody who takes our vote for granted or just takes us for granted in general. I'm going to drop some tomorrow, Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Matter of fact, tomorrow is my birthday, so I'm going to be dropping a real special one, and I want everybody to pull up to the Black Alpha Network on YouTube and check it out because we're going to bring some real fire, and you guys do the same because I'm sure Brother Beatzilla is going to have a recap where he's going to break it down as well. And if we each one teach one, we all do a little, we all do a lot. Everybody chip away. So anybody who's off code, keep on giving them that real work. And as long as we do that and continue to do that, everybody will fall and FBA will be the last one standing. So as always, I want you guys to stay real, stay safe, stay vigilant, hold each other down, and let's do it as a family. FBA salute.
Absolutely, my brother. And with that, I will part with these words. Just remember, there is no one else greater than you. The reason why they have to do all of the psych ops and mind games and have you feeling some kind of way and feeling less about yourself, because if you even feel halfway normal about yourself, you're a problem. How much more when you absolutely love yourself undoubtedly? And a lot of us have been trained not to even embrace ourselves. Let's break that curse. Let's absolutely put that curse in the dirt. Embrace your greatness because there ain't nothing better than you. And with that, I again, thanks to my brother right here holding it down with me, man. These spaces, whether he's hosting, I'm hosting, this is what it is. So this is what you're gonna get from us. And if you ever watch our lives and my brother come on, y'all know we could talk for hours. Y'all know. So I mean, especially between the mashup crew, which is myself, Afro, Alpha, Torian Reigns, and Kid Gravity. Our last mashup, I think we went for about 3 hours. And literally, that's almost like just getting warmed up when you messing with us, because we talk this black stuff all day long. So again, we walk it as we talk it. I hope y'all really receive this space. Again, thanks to all the participants and speakers. Please go follow me on YouTube at Beatzillapdx official. And that'll be the Beatzillapdx official show. I do the midweek report and the weekly wrap-ups. And then also we have news breaks coming out in between. And unfortunately, this Wednesday, I'm not sure if I'll be live, but I will be live Friday, because I have a CD release. So one of the other things that I do, I also am a musician. So there's a CD release for one of the records that I'm part of coming out Wednesday. So I might not be doing a live, but I'm gonna try to get y'all something. But again, also follow me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, and follow me on Instagram. Make sure you follow my brother right here, the Black Alpha Network on YouTube. Go follow Afro Elite on YouTube, Kid Gravity on YouTube, and most definitely go follow Torian Reigns on YouTube and join his channel if you have not already done so. Shout out to my sister Nikki, who would have been a co-host, but she was having phone issues. But nonetheless, she is the ghost co-host for today. And brother Wartox, thank you so much. Appreciate you, my brother, as well, and all you do for the New Black Media community. So y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and don't let these devils get in your way. You dig? So with that, black first, black first, black first. We are out.